The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking assassin movies. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us on another episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast. This week, we're talking assassin movies. This podcast, as always, is available everywhere where you get your podcasts at, Spotify, Apple iTunes, or if you want to watch the video, head over to YouTube. I'm your host, Alex, the Salty Nerd, and I'm joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader is drinking something weird today. What's up, buddy?
This is some funky stuff, dude.
Jude made us a drink this week in honor of the Assassins movies called Death in the Afternoon.
Death in the Afternoon.
And it is horrendous.
No, it's not as good.
Whatever, dude.
The more you drink, the less horrendous
I'm
it
going to
gets.
start seeing like swirlies and spots and stuff.
Kadish is getting a contact high just from smelling my drink.
This absinthe is bullshit.
Stop it.
Alex, you described it as a headache in a glass.
It is. It feels like it's going to give me a headache in about 20 minutes.
Which is how your Death in the Afternoon will start.
Jude is also here.
Hello!
The mixologist of the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Are you excited to talk about these movies?
Yes.
Excellent, me too. And Matthew Kadish, producer of the show. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, I'm smelling all your drinks, and it is horrific.
Yeah.
It is giving me a headache.
It's pretty gnarly.
It smells like the worst type of licorice you can possibly imagine.
Oh, stop it. You're so aggressively
No, I'm with him.
delicate.
I'm with him on this.
Just chug it, dude. See if you live.
Oh,
God, don't do that. No, don't do that. Vader, shut up.
I've got like 2 hours to host right now, dude.
Yeah.
You chug this stuff, you will die in the afternoon. It's not just a clever name.
He's
chug,
Next movie on our list.
I mean, because of the absinthe and the strength, you're all going to be tripping balls in a couple minutes.
God damn it, dude. Next movie on our list is Leone the Puffavo.
Assassins.
All right, guys. So the three movies on our list today that we're going to talk about
You
is
said ass.
Twice.
Assassin.
It's got double ass in it.
Ass.
In.
Better make it 3.
I want to get in that ass.
Three movies on our list today are
We're not going to make it.
Antonio Banderas and Sylvester Stallone in Assassins. The next movie on our list is going to be Leon the Professional. And last, Timothy Olyphant in Hitman. Also Agent 47, depends on which one you download. But yeah, those are the three movies this week. So I'm really excited to talk about these movies. I had a ton of fun watching them this week. So I'm looking forward to chatting with my crew about this.
Double butt stuff.
Okay. On that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. All right, before we get into Assassins, Jude's got a message for you. Take it away, Jude.
All right. I'm going to give you the synopsis on Assassins in just a hot second. But first, I want to tell you about how you can help support the show without spending any money. First, wherever you're listening or watching us, hit the thumbs up button, or preferably, if you're just listening to the audio only, just scroll down and hit that 5th star. And then walk away. Your work is done here. You never have to think about it again. And then if you're not driving, you can leave us a 1-line comment, because we love comments and we always read them. And sometimes we read them on the show. We might read yours. And it really helps us out. And finally, if you have an extra $5 a month and you want to share it with us, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you can start doing fun things with us, like once a month trivia that we do for our patrons, and chat with us daily in the Discord, and other fun things that we have that only the club members can be a part of. So you can join at either the $5 level or the $30 level. So if you want to join the club, you can do that at saltynerdclub.com or directly through the Patreon app at Salty Nerd Podcast. Okay, ready?
Yes, give me the budget.
Okay, 1995 Assassins, rated R with a runtime of 2 hours, 13 minutes. So this had a budget of $50 million. What do you think this brought in?
That's all this was?
50.
5-0. Wow. I'm going to say it brought in barely covering itself, 62 million.
Okay, Vader.
Flop, 40.
Oh, you guys have no faith. 83.
That's not bad.
Yeah. It did
Right on.
okay.
I guess you
It
win
did
the vote
okay
this
for
week.
itself.
I win a boat?
I guess you win the vote.
I'll put it in with the rest of them.
Nobody wins the speedboat this week. You guys both fail. You know who wins the speedboat? The Green Fairy.
Oh, God. Here we go. Let's try one more time.
Do we have a code word this week?
Oh.
He usually doesn't have that visceral. Of
It's
a
so
reaction.
gross.
He's making me cry.
Look, I can drink a lot of weird things, but this is crossing the line.
All right, let's ask our people listening in while we're doing this live what our code word should be.
Oh yeah, so
if you're in the chat right now,
what was it? When we're doing episodic shows, usually when somebody says penultimate, we have to drink.
Damn it,
I
dude.
know, I'm sorry.
I went out with friends that listened to the show the other day, and my friend whose birthday it was kept saying that word the entire night. I was like, dude, I'm driving.
Yeah. So we need another, because we're not talking about an episodic show. We're talking about movies. So comment if you're in a Discord, if you're listening to us on Twitter Spaces, follow at salty_nerd to check us out live on Tuesdays. And give us a word of the week, guys.
Code word. Make us drink. Make us drink this shit.
Oh, God. Anima's already, she's like on fire right now.
Oh, she's in there. I see her typing
This is
right
already
now.
falling apart. I love it. All right. So go ahead. What is the synopsis for Assassins?
You ready?
Yes.
All right. Julianne Moore is stalking everyone in her apartment building. Antonio Banderas is stalking Sylvester Stallone, and Sylvester Stallone keeps talking to himself for the benefit of the audience. Everyone sucks in this movie except for Pearl the cat. Antonio, Julianne, and Sly make their way to San Juan for Day of the Dead, and it's a circle jerk of stalking. To culminate in the reenactment of historical Hitman hits of Dia de Muertes past, Antonio is losing his fucking mind in the clock tower of no air conditioning. Julianne's had way too much coffee and people watching, and Sly is totally ruining this rite of passage for Antonio by not presenting himself for execution. And everyone is so fucking sweaty. Written by Lana and Lily Wachowski.
Seriously?
What?
Yep.
No way.
Yeah, back when they were, of a different gender.
This movie was written by the Wachowskis?
Yep.
Yeah,
I did not know
When
that.
they were brothers, not sisters.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what had happened was the Wachowskis had made this very big independent film called Bound with Gina Gershon, and they had written 2 spec screenplays, one of which was this movie Assassins, and the other one was The Matrix. And Joel Silver, off of the strength of Bound, optioned both of those scripts for $1 million each. And so this was the first movie to kind of like make it through development. And originally, like they had Mel Gibson interested in starring and directing in this movie, but then he got kind of sidetracked by Braveheart. So they brought on Richard Donner of Lethal Weapon and Superman fame. And Richard Donner basically came on board on the condition that he could tone down the violence and kind of increase the love story between Wrath and Elektra. And so he came in and brought on board another writer named Brian Helgeland, who kind of came on and did a bunch of rewrites, and the Wachowskis were so pissed off at the rewrites that were put on that they wanted to take their names off the movie.
And they were like, fuck you. Your names are staying.
Yeah, the Writers Guild was like, you can't take your name off this movie, and so like they were kind of stuck with it. But this was like their first like big like Hollywood produced movie to their credits.
We need a gag. Because if the code word is the F-bomb,
No, we
then
can't
we
have that.
we can't, she can't.
Well, she just said it and I had to drink.
I know, that's why I drink.
I thought we were going to stand together and tell her to fuck off.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, fuck. We can't have that. We can't
You're all
have
gonna
that.
die.
It's official. The code word is the F-bomb.
I think that word is in several of my synopses for
Oh,
today.
this is going to be wonderful.
I'll nurse
All right,
this
so
thing.
here's the thing about this movie. I love this movie. I don't care if it's
Really?
ridiculous or not. It's funny to me because I'm watching this and having watched Tango and Cash for the podcast, right? I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, so I know whenever Sylvester Stallone has those goddamn stupid ass glasses on, it means he wants us to take him very seriously.
Yes, that is a fact.
These are his serious glasses. So when I was watching this movie this time around, having seen Tango and Cash, I was like, oh, he's trying to be smart in this episode or in this movie. I'm like, okay, I got you. I'm on board.
Episode, you had it right.
Sure. I felt like this was kind of like an offshoot of Tango and Cash. Like he
Yes.
felt like the same
Sort of.
character.
It's in the universe.
Yeah.
I'm
This
certain.
This is just Stallone trying to be cool.
That's all it is.
Except Tango and Cash is a good movie.
Well,
I don't know. I don't hate this movie. It's ridiculous.
This is just Antonio Banderas being sweaty.
Oh, it's so sexy.
Antonio.
So sexy,
you guys
dude.
know
listen, I need to ask you guys the question. So we've all established that Antonio is too sexy
Right.
and that we would all suck it and touch it.
Yeah.
Nope, not anymore.
That's my question. In this movie, are you only going hands in or?
Quit making me say weird things.
He is so damn sexy in this movie.
So sexy.
He's a schizo in this
Yeah,
movie.
I know. It's kind of cool.
That's
So
hot.
this was actually his follow-up to Desperado.
I was going to say, this feels like
Yeah.
Desperados and Tango and Cash had like a love child.
Yeah, it
and
feels like they were like, hey, you know how you were
Sexy in that other movie?
sexy and killing people in that movie? Just bring that on over here. Bring that on over here. Put a filter of crazy
he
over
literally
it.
plays the same character.
Yeah.
Like his mannerisms and everything.
He overacts to the max.
I love it. I love it.
I thought this movie was insane and dumb, but also in a fun way.
Yeah.
Like the whole movie, I was like, get out of here.
Dude.
I have to change the F word to something else. Okay.
Do we have a drink?
No,
No,
I
she
didn't
didn't say
say
it.
it. I didn't say it.
Are you itching to drink?
The whole
like it.
movie, I was like, get the cunt out of here.
Oh, Jesus.
You're welcome.
Oh my God.
You just raped Vader's ears.
You just
It's like you shoved a white-hot poker in his eardrum.
Anyway, so there was this scene.
You just deep fried my brain hole.
So
I'm gonna change it up.
Such a dirty word.
Get the redheaded slut out of here. No, like the whole movie, I was just like, come on.
Oh, there's
like the whole movie, and like the next thing would happen, I'd be like, get out of here.
the assassination at the funeral is the most laughable thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So
There's
ridiculous.
a giant smoking hole covered by just a Band-Aid
Oh, the
in his arm
cast.
sleeve.
The cast. It's like 6 feet too long. He's walking around being like, I'm a secret agent, guys.
He's still running through the cemetery with a cast on his arm.
And nobody blinks
and
an eye.
a giant pussying hole at the end of it. That's actually appropriate. Where he shoots the bullets
And
through.
the bullets, where the bullets come out, they get ejected. He has another hole on his arm right here where the bullets come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so
was
ridiculous.
amazing.
Covered up with some duct tape.
It's so
Yeah,
funny.
Just like a Band-Aid. It was like one lone Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And then as he's running, that Band-Aid is just kind of flapping.
Flopping around,
in
yeah.
the wind. Perfection.
It was perfect.
Perfection.
And the fact that like everybody, like the security guards that were trying to protect the person that they were assassinating, like they were like looking around like, who did that? And there's obviously a dude next to a tree with a giant rifle going
There's
like,
literally just two guys in the cemetery talking shit at each
Like,
other over the
shooting-
cemetery.
shooting at each other with guns.
And the FBI guys are like, where's that coming from? It's so fun.
FBI
It's so
guys?
ridiculous. Or the
guys
Secret
just-
Service or whoever they are.
Yeah, whoever.
Just bodyguard dudes.
And just how
terribly
clueless the
trained.
cops were when they showed up to the scene, and they're still shooting at each other.
Yeah.
Like Sylvester Stallone is literally blowing apart this freaking tombstone that Antonio's hiding behind, and the cops are right there, and they're like, "Who's shooting who?"
I think it just dawned on me why I didn't like this movie.
Why?
Stallone is not that great of an actor. I'm sorry. he's good at flexing his muscles and shooting guns. But I think what my problem with this movie is that movies in this genre have changed so much over the years that I watch a goofy ass movie like this when I'm used to watching John Wick movies, you know, things that are like fun and smart, and this just comes off as dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just it's not good.
I liked it for its dumbness, though.
It's just-
It made it fun.
It's just there's just something that did not resonate with me in this movie.
So in the original script, the character that Sylvester Stallone plays, he's supposed to be like a much older assassin. In fact, the Wachowskis wrote the part for Sean Connery. And
Whoa.
That would be next level.
and the basic crux of the Wachowski script was like you had this aging kind of like old school assassin and the young hothead up and comer, and it was basically like a kind of showdown between those two.
Yeah.
It was very straightforward. It was very like heavy R, like heavy action, like all this stuff. And Richard Donner kind of brought in like the romance angle and toned down the violence. And
Sylvester Stallone was like, whoa, what have I played it?
Well, that's the thing, though, because like the flashback parts of this show are supposed to take place like 15 years ago.
Yeah, and
But
that never really connects.
Yeah, Sly doesn't look old enough to have done something like that 15 years ago.
And also, he's Antonio Banderas' like hero.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. It doesn't, the age thing doesn't work.
Did you just get into the Hitman game and you were like, that's the first guy and he's my hero?
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I say they didn't have the de-aging tech.
De-aging? Or the aging up?
The face app tech to de-age.
No, but like hearing that it was supposed to be freaking Connery.
I think that would have
That would have made it a
good
little bit
movie.
different movie.
Dude, imagine Connery instead of freaking like
'Cause this came out around the same time as The Rock, right? The same within a few years.
97, right?
something.
So
The
I mean,
Rock.
This came out in
I wanna say it was,
1995.
like, mid to late 90s.
so I think Connery could have pulled it off
Yeah.
if they had gone that route.
I think so,
it
too.
would have been really good.
That would have been cool because imagine like
because
immediately the scene that goes into my head is like the older assassin is the one who has patience to pull off these jobs that take a long time and it's like a slow burn, whereas the hot-headed freaking Antonio Banderas, he's just like guns to the go. Imagine the scene where he's in the bank and he's just like burning hours.
Yeah.
Like imagine instead of Sly just sitting there like reading a stupid little newspaper, it's freaking Sean Connery like talking some bank shit.
Yeah.
Like transferring some money. And you'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. It would sell it so much better.
Smoking a cigar.
Yes. With a
Yeah.
freaking whiskey in his
I have a
hand.
question. Is he playing Scottish or Egyptian?
Spanish. What are you doing, cabron?
Yeah, he plays the Antonio Banderas part.
They're in like what? Fucking San Juan. Oh shit. God damn it.
Oh, she said it.
Jude's gonna kill us today.
Oh my, I already have a headache. Fuck. Oh.
It's kind of funny because like in this movie, so the people who hire the assassins, it's all done through like anonymous like IRC chat or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And,
Yeah, that computer scroll. Amazing.
AOL.
yeah, and there's this scene where Antonio Banderas is in a bathtub and he's like typing on this thing, and you can tell that like whatever he's typing, because like there was nothing on the screen, and the sound effects just aren't going with how the words are like coming on the screen. It's very awkward.
Yeah.
Would you like to play a
Yeah,
game?
it felt like that. It felt like War Game. It's like this computer just talking to him.
And every time like Sylvester Stallone's doing this with like the computer screen, he's talking to himself and he's saying the exact opposite of what he's typing.
I
into
kind
the
Yes.
of like that though,
Yeah.
because he's like playing the game where like the people on the other end don't know what he's saying. He's like, there was one part he's like, "We're worried about you, Robert," and he's like, "You should be."
What was
And he
that-
types in like, "Don't be worried about me, I'm fine."
What was that Chuck Norris movie with the aggressive like inner monologue? That gave me this energy.
Was it Octagon?
Yeah, it was the
Yes,
Octagon.
Octagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But it was so awkward just seeing like, because every time someone's using a computer, they're talking to themselves, and just like, you couldn't have found out a more interesting way to communicate like this stuff.
Yeah, use Chuck Norris.
the whole
You should be worried
Worried.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you gonna say?
I see the whole communicating through the computer thing is kind of a trope through the whole.
Yeah.
every-
For everything in
for
this.
all these movies, right?
Yeah. Well, except for Leon. I
Leon
don't think
maybe
Leon
not,
doesn't
but-
have any computers in it, but
Leo
The
doesn't
other-
even know how to read.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's so smart.
Just keep your expectations
Yeah.
low.
yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed the whole computer part. I like watching movies made 20, 25 years ago that
It's like a literally an AOL DM
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
It's just
it's like I just picture
No
him,
one's monitoring this.
I picture him every time he like needs to talk to his handler or whatever. He has to like plug a thing and do it, and he goes.
I apologize to our audio only listeners.
Yeah, it's just like, they know what I'm doing. This
He was like, did somebody have the phone off the hook?
Yeah.
the old dial up thing, man. You probably don't even remember what that
Of
sounds
course,
like.
I remember what dial up is. Come on,
Because you're
bro.
a child. But you know,
He was
it's
a wee babe on his father's knee.
Can we talk about how big of an asshole Julianne Moore's character was?
Oh my God, she's the worst.
Please.
She's spying on her neighbors.
Yeah.
The only one that she's actually nice to is her cat, and that's just kind of she keeps it in a cage the whole time.
Can I ask a quick question? Why was she doing that? Was that her job, or was she just nosy?
She
I didn't
It's
quite
just
get
She's
what
a
her character
hacker,
was.
man.
Yeah.
Is that what she was?
It's part of her personality.
Yeah, she was a hacktivist, basically. Like,
Yeah.
Activist?
She hated people who wore fur. She hated people who abused
She's
their
destroying
girlfriend.
personal property because of her preferences.
That scene in the elevator with Julianne Moore is standing behind some like rich. Oh, and she's like this chick that she's like wearing the fur, just straight up racist. Remember that? She's like, I can't believe they hired so many foreigners in that restaurant. Don't ever make reservations there. It was like the most ridiculous racist stuff ever. In this lady was sitting there.
That lady was awful.
Yeah.
Why do you even have spray paint?
It was a
And
night.
the way she hides it too, is she sits there and she goes, shh, like right into her ear while she's spraying her jacket. I'm like, that doesn't work.
So dumb.
What were we gonna say, B?
I'd say it was the 90s.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
So with her spying on her neighbors, I think they ripped that directly from like the movie Sliver, where William Baldwin, whatever his
The
name
lesser
is,
Baldwin?
the mid-grade Baldwin,
Baldwin the lesser?
Baldwin the Lesser.
Baldwin the middleman.
Why do you like him so much?
I just do.
He's the inferior Baldwin.
Hey, she's seen his butt. Okay?
Dare yuck my yum,
In
Vader.
that terrible movie.
I have never yucked your yum. You need to stand the fuck
I
down.
love
Oh, there's a drink.
Damn it, Jude.
Stop getting me fired up. But anyway, you get the drift. Oh,
Yeah.
I've learned that if you swirl it, it kind of dissipates the smell of the absinthe.
Swirl the
It makes it slightly less gross.
swirl the
It doesn't make it good. It makes it slightly less bad.
swirl the antifreeze.
Oh my
Okay.
God, this is the worst drink I've ever had.
I'm so excited to die together.
So Julianne Moore had just come off of Boogie Nights and doing this movie, I think. Like both her and Antonio Banderas' star was on the rise. Sylvester Stallone's star was kind of on the decline at this point.
He plateaued.
Yeah. He hadn't really made like a big hit recently. And his big thing with this movie was he was reserved. Like
Yeah.
he didn't go as full Stallone as he normally does.
I love how he just like tells people in interviews what his character was instead of just being that as the character in the movie. It's hilarious.
Oh, and his pit stains are epic.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So sweaty.
Everybody is so sweaty in this movie.
Okay, but like Antonio Banderas is his like face,
It's
and he's
sexy
like,
sweaty.
Yeah, it's like kind of he's acting sweaty. He's just like I'm acting. My face is sweaty.
Yeah, he's like,
this
I'm
is
actually
my character.
hot.
Yeah.
I need
But
a
still
water
alone.
bottle.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you they had a
No,
spray
I
bottle.
need a
on
water
set.
bottle so I can just like make my beard sexy.
I'm gonna go out front and get the hose.
You just look like a wet cat, bro. Get out of here.
But like Stallone is just like wearing a shirt. He's not sweaty at all, but he has these giant pit stains, just like the circumference of his shirt that is sweaty outweighs the circumference of his shirt that's not sweaty.
So they shot most of this movie in Puerto Rico, where it's like very humid, and it kind of reminds me of that movie Kingdom of Heaven with Alec Baldwin, where basically every single shirt that he wears is just covered in sweat the entire movie, because they shot in New Orleans, where it's like super humid. It's like walking through a cloud.
Yeah.
And it is kind of funny because in certain shots, like Sylvester Stallone, like his clothes are fine. In other shots, it's just got these massive pit stains. It just takes you out of the movie.
I can't imagine.
You can't stop looking at
You
it.
really can't.
At least you know, the nice thing about Vegas is
It's a dry heat.
don't have the pit stains as much around here.
I don't know, dude.
I think that
I
should
get-
be our code word. Dry heat. Anytime anyone says
Oh,
it's a dry heat about
dude.
Vegas, it makes me want to drink.
You know how many times people have said that to me since I've moved here? I've been here for like 12 years.
It's true.
Always
I talked to-
said,
Yeah.
with the exception of Vader, by someone who doesn't live here.
Yeah, totally. I'll get a call from somebody from the Northeast or something like that. And they're like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh, not too great. It's like 140 freaking degrees outside. They're like, yeah, but it's a dry heat, right? I'm like, I'm going to freaking murder you.
It still sucks.
It still sucks.
You're still in hell.
It's like walking into an oven.
You just
Yeah.
don't sweat as
Yeah,
much.
but if it wasn't a dry heat, it'd be even worse.
Oh god.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's terrible.
If it was like
Humid heat? Remember
Oh.
100% humidity?
I would
with
much
120
rather have 110 here than like 95 in Florida.
Yes.
That would be the worst.
I don't know how to
It's like,
freaking-
Facts.
fuck that.
Because something's going to crawl on me in Florida also.
I got mosquitoes the size of this big.
But they have alligators in varying sizes. They just call them salamanders.
Anyway, this movie was super interesting. So let's just so the movie progresses. Antonio Banderas is trying to one up Sylvester Stallone. One of the scenes that always stood out to me, and I've seen this movie before, but I didn't remember a lot of it, but I do remember one particular scene that I thought was like just a ton of fun, is when Antonio Banderas corners Sylvester Stallone and Julianne Moore in their apartment, and they're like having this little back and forth shootout, and Sylvester Stallone unplugs like the gas line or something like that, and then like lights like a fuse and then bails, and the whole building explodes. That was like, to me, that was one of the most fun scenes in this movie.
Everybody not home though?
It'll be all right.
I mean, the people that lived there that they know about are like already dead, so fine. But like, can you just check Julianne Moore's like spy
The cat?
screen?
Are you worried about the cats?
No, I'm worried about the other people that live in the apartment building.
I don't know. I had a ton of fun with this movie.
I had that problem in Superman, the Superman movie.
Oh, where they destroy half of Metropolis.
Where they killed 3 million people with the fight between
Hey
Zod
man,
and
don't
Superman.
bring up Zack Snyder in this freaking podcast, dude.
Oh my god,
It'll trigger Kadish.
You said the Z word.
It is kind of funny though. You know, back in the 80s and the 90s, you don't care about
There's
it.
no collateral
There's
damage.
no collateral
It's
damage.
Fine.
It's like, you know, but they,
Excuse me, I am a hero.
Is anybody else so freaking tired of movies that go to Mexico or go to the
Nope.
doing the freaking Day of the Dead
No,
parade?
no.
Every movie that goes to Mexico
Well,
is like,
when-
oh, it happens to be Day of the Dead.
but when they made this movie, that wasn't a thing yet.
I guess not. Was this the one that started it?
Alex, you sound like somebody who's never celebrated Day of the Dead.
I don't celebrate Halloween or Day of the Dead.
I really hated that scene in this movie where they tried to blow up Julianne Moore's apartment and she fell out into the water and Sylvester Baldwin jumped in.
That's the wrong
And
movie.
That's fair game.
Fair
sorry.
game. Triggered Jude. Death stare.
I'm gonna die.
Fuck.
Oh, 3? God damn it.
It's really nasty.
Growing
This is
on me.
disgusting. No, it's so gross. Okay,
I'm gonna make another round.
let's get back on track. Are we ready to do final thoughts? I feel like,
No.
There were 2 scenes in this movie that made me roll my eyes.
okay, go for it.
So the-
Only 2.
Just 2?
well, 2 very egregious ones. So the first one is where basically Sylvester Stallone tricks Antonio Banderas into getting into his taxi. And
Oh, yeah.
and they have a face off between this like glass partition.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, that glass partition will stop those bullets. They can't shoot it at each other.
It goes all the way up from the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't shoot through the seats.
Yeah.
but you can shoot through the.
I've never even thought about that before.
I literally was
Oh
like,
my
just
God.
shoot him through the seat.
That didn't never crossed my mind. I just like the back and forth where Antonio was like finally like tries to put a bullet through it. Obviously, it doesn't work. I love
Like,
his.
hey, I had to try.
His reaction to that was amazing. He's like, I had to try, man. No big deal. I just was like,
the Assassin's Code.
it's good. I just had to try. It's good.
And like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, you miss me. Sorry. It's just, I love Antonio in this movie.
Every time they had a back and forth, that's when the movie worked
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
They
When
need
they
more of
were
that.
when they were pitted up against each other like one on
I
one.
feel like this movie should have been like The Odd Couple, but
Yeah.
assassins. Like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but with Antonio Banderas and Sly Stallone.
My favorite scene in this movie.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna ask me what my favorite scene
No,
is.
go ahead. This is now.
But my favorite scene is when frustrated Antonio Banderas comes out of the tower
Mhm.
and he goes into the bank and they just have that really cool conversation.
They sit down at the
Yeah.
They
table.
sit down and have like, man, I'm going to fucking kill you later. But it's like,
He's
you
just like,
asshole.
oh, it's so hot. It's so hot. How are you? Are you okay?
and
Should
Stallone's
we do this?
Yeah.
Stallone's character is just sitting there, just playing him like a fiddle.
Yeah.
it was good stuff.
I like that
and
stuff.
that was the best part of this movie.
Yeah,
The-
and originally, like the movie was supposed to be like just about their rivalry and them trying to kill
It
each
should
other.
have been.
Yeah.
And the second scene that really had me rolling my eyes is at the end, and this was something Brian Helgeland added when he did his rewrites, is the reveal that the old Russian guy that Sylvester Stallone killed 15 years ago is secretly still alive, and he was the one pulling all the strings.
Yeah, that didn't make any
and
sense to me.
yeah, like he just came out of
Comes out
no
of nowhere.
setup
Yeah.
at all for that reveal.
Spoiler. Turns out my best friend is still alive. I never killed him.
Yeah.
The last 20 years have been alive.
Because because the guy knew, he was like, I know you always aim for the heart. So he had like some kind of like a protection around
Kevlar,
his,
yeah.
whatever it was. And it was like, it's just,
But
it
what
did
if
come
he
out of
ever
nowhere.
went for the headshot? Like, there's a lot of stuff that had to work for that.
because if you kill him in the head, then you can't identify them, and then you don't get your money.
I've never understood, and this is a real life thing.
What's that?
You know, you got these people that they know that they've got guns going to be pointed at them at some point in their lives, but they always wear the Kevlar vest, but they never wear a helmet or nothing. It's like, I'm going to bring this to the real world right now, right? Just really quick. You got Zelensky over in Ukraine. Every time you see him out in public, in the open, where a sniper's at or something, right? He's got this Kevlar vest on, but he's just roaming around with his head fully exposed and everything. Can they not aim for the head? This is a thing.
That's not what they're trained to do.
This is a thing through all these assassin movies. They never go for headshots.
I'm gonna tell you something.
I don't get it.
Come here. This is a secret. It's all propaganda.
It's just weird, man. It's just like,
here we go.
it's just a strange thing. It's like, yeah, we got all these cool Kevlar vests, but you don't got nothing to protect your brain.
Well, in this movie, the excuse was the kill was personal. And I guess in personal kills, you don't go for the head, you go for the heart.
Oh, yeah, some assassin's code.
Some assassin's bullshit code, yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
But what's also funny is like killing his best friend and mentor like tormented the character of Sylvester Stallone his entire life. And then when he finds out that the guy is alive, he's like, oh, that burden's been lifted off my shoulders. And then he immediately kills him again.
Exactly.
Well, you know, there can only be two. There can only be a master and an apprentice.
You almost made me snot.
So he fucked it all up by not being dead.
Yeah. No, I can't do
pretty
that.
much.
Yeah.
But
It's like Darth Plagueis being alive. It wouldn't work in the whole
I'm sorry, say his name again.
Plagueis, whatever.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. That's getting clipped.
but there's this great scene in this movie where Antonio Banderas finds out that he's being hired to kill Sylvester Stallone, and he does this huge overacting thing where he's like, he like bites his knuckle, and it's one of my favorite like internet memes because it's a GIF that you can put.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I 100% disagree with you because every time you're like, you want to get sushi tonight, I do the same thing.
You're really excited about things. You just, oh yes.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, but it's textbook Antonio Banderas overacting.
You know what though, like
it kind of works.
That's kind of his thing.
Of all the people who overact in movies, he does it the best.
I wish that Sylvester Stallone had done that, and then it would just be acting.
You know, this is a funny thing, and I have no idea. It's probably not connected, but I thought it was very fascinating because I recently watched Shrek 2 with my kids, and that introduced Puss in Boots, played by Antonio Banderas. The first time we ever get introduced to that character, it's all in shadow, and all you see is two green cat eyes. And Julianne Moore's logo on the internet is two green cat eyes, and I was like,
you were like, oh shit, I think I know what's happening
there's
here.
a conspiracy going on here.
But you know, you fucked that up. Oh god.
God damn it.
God.
When you say Puss in Boots.
You have to say it right.
You have to say it correctly.
You do have to say it right.
Puss in Boots.
Puss.
better.
You have to pause.
Puss in Boots.
That's right.
Okay, I need you to stop doing that.
It makes your nether regions quiver a little bit. You go, oh,
it's too sexy.
It's too sexy.
Puss in Boots.
Oh man, the only movie I've ever seen that has Antonio Banderas in it that wasn't sexy was that god awful Uncharted movie.
I just crossed my legs.
All right, let's do final thoughts. Let's do final thoughts on Assassins. Vader, give it a rating. What do you rate this movie?
2.
Really?
Yeah, it's a terrible fucking movie, dude.
All right.
God dang it, it's kicking.
You said it again.
Shit.
It's hit me again. Anima is no longer allowed to pick the word of the week.
Yeah.
She's trying to murder us.
She literally knows our kryptonite.
I know, dude. It's just, yeah, this is a 2. This is not a good movie. This is, I don't know why Sylvester Stallone or Antonio Banderas would even ever make this movie, but maybe it's because they needed a paycheck or something at the time.
You don't like that? Wow.
No, this is
Stallone got $15 million for that.
Well, that's why. That's why. Because that's a really good payday for 1995.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, which Rocky movie came before this? Was it Rocky 4?
All of them. These are all after Rocky, dude.
That's not true.
Except for like Rocky 12.
I like Balboa
Rocky,
or whatever.
Rocky white guy. I don't know. It's just it's not Jude. Fuck. God. Dang it.
She said it again.
It's not me.
This thing is like kicking my ass all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see triplicate. It's insane.
We got 3 movies.
I know. I'm only one in. God.
Dude, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
My mouth is numb.
Puss in Boots.
I'm going to apologize to our listeners. Like this might go real off the walls in not that long. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to our patrons who chose the topic for this week. Assassin's movie was a patron idea. So thank you.
Terrible
You're
idea.
slurring your words.
Listen, dude, don't get mad about the ad breaks because they ain't going to happen. Jude, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
I just want to tell people that
I apologize.
Alex and I found this really cool bar yesterday. It's called Beer Zombies.
Shout out to Beer
Vader,
Zombies.
tell him I brought this beer home for Vader, and show him your 10. Show
Oh,
him your
yeah,
10.
Beer Zombies. Shout out to
Yeah.
those guys.
So
Local Las Vegas
Yeah,
brewery.
if you come to Las Vegas, you can go to Beer Zombies, and you can get beers in tins.
Yeah.
And they have shirts too. This is a 2-star movie.
Okay.
Kadish?
That's it. All right. Kadish, final thoughts. Give it a rating. He's the only sober one at the table.
I agree. This is a 2-star movie.
What?
It's not a good movie. In fact, it's
bro.
quite boring. And if it weren't for the overacting of Antonio Banderas, there'd be nothing redeeming about this film.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas.
He's
Yeah.
too
His
sexy.
his
And boots.
I also want to tell people this is only one shot of
I know, bro.
absinthe in these, and it's no joke.
I'm gonna change it to 2.5 just for really good Antonio Banderas.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Antonio Banderas sweat.
Thank you. Tthank you.
His sweat gets a half a star.
Oh, that's a good point. You know what? Me too.
It's excellent sweating.
Me too.
Can he bottle that and sell it on the
You
internet?
bottle it. It's like a
Excellent
thought.
sweating.
Like an internet thought. Like Antonio
Like,
Banderas.
can you oil your beer with his sweat? Oil
I
your beer.
totally would.
Is that a thing?
Banderas
Can you do that?
beard sweat. That's pretty wild. I'm gonna bottle that. Let's do that.
This is a 3-star movie.
No, it's 2.5. 2.5 because of Antonio sweating
Okay, whatever you say. Say Puss in Boots
off
again.
the rails. Jesus
Booze.
Christ! This is our first movie.
And boots. We're so done, dude.
We're done. It's over.
This is terrible.
It used to be the name I called my boobs.
Puss in Boots.
They fight with swords.
Oh
What this last half inch of this class is going to fucking murder me. God damn it.
no. This is a 3-star movie for me. I am thoroughly entertained from start to finish. I love the ridiculousness. I love the overacting. Everything. Oh my gosh, you finished it. I have so much fun with this movie. I don't know why. I'm not saying it's good, but for me personally, I just have a ton of fun.
A regular watch for you.
Yeah, kind of.
Really?
Yeah. Like I love this movie, dude.
This movie sucks.
No,
balls.
it does not. Like when we were choosing assassin movies, this was the first movie that came to my head. I was like, oh, Antonio
because it's
Banderas.
called
Because
Assassin.
it's, yeah.
No, because of Antonio. I freaking love that
It doesn't
guy.
even have any boobs in it, dude. I mean, come on.
That's
It's
a good point. I think.
Jude's a yes man all of a sudden. Yeah.
Listen, whatever Vader says goes.
All
she
right.
never has said that before. That
I'm so sorry.
makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's
I
a
didn't know. Absinthe makes me slutty.
Let's go right now. Ponfar.
all right. We're gonna take a quick break and compose ourselves. And the next movie on our list is Leon the Professional. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you want to support the podcast and download an awesome free mobile game, go to saltynerd.com/DC and download Dragon Champions and join our guild. We have a special guild created by a patron of ours, JT. Shout out to him. Thank you, sir. And we're growing. We've got a ton of people in there right now joining our guild, and I'm not quite there yet. I'm only level 14. You have to be level 20. But if you sign up and use the promo code SALTY to get a little leg up, you get some extra free stuff, you get a cool character, and it'll help you on your way. And then once you reach level 20, you can join our Salty Nerd Guild. Dragon Champions is a character development and collector game where you can kind of like build your character, upgrade them, and then go on like raids and fights and fight different battles and stuff like that. So a lot of fun. It's free, completely free to play. So if you want to join us and support the podcast, go to saltynerd.com/DC. All right, the next movie on our list is arguably the best for the week. Leon the Professional, or The Professional, or Leon, depends on where you come from. Jude, take it away. What is this movie all about?
All right. 1994, Leon the Professional. Rated R with a runtime of 1 hour 50 minutes. Had a budget of 150 million francs / 16 million US dollars. What do you think this brought in?
I'm sorry, did you say 15 million francs?
115 million francs / 16 million dollars.
Francs.
Why did you say it like we were stupid?
You broke, Alex.
He's done.
Congratulations.
Because French
Dollars? Like a white trash dude with a Ford pickup. Stupid dollars.
Mon Dieu.
It's like these fucking things.
Give me another cigarette, you whore. You and your dollars.
American is such an ugly language.
Give me some of your
What's
rupees.
the dude from The Matrix when he's like French is just, it's like wiping your ass with silk.
That is
The
a fact.
Merovingian?
Yes.
That is a fact.
Oh man.
Franck.
I don't know.
Fucking gorgeous.
This is a damn good movie. I'm gonna say it made $200 million.
Oh no. $83 million.
$46 million.
Oh no.
I think that this was an underdog,
Yeah.
and it kind of came out of nowhere. And I think it's gained since it came out, but originally, I don't know if people
Is
knew
this
what
a
to do
cult
with
movie?
this.
It was actually kind of a filler film because originally Luc Besson was developing The Fifth Element. And because of Bruce Willis's schedule, he had a lot of time on his hands. And so like he took the crew for The Fifth Element and went off and made this just to keep them busy. And this actually ended up being a much more respected and remembered movie than The Fifth Element was ultimately. So
I just love the director's name,
Luc Besson.
Luc Besson.
Besson.
And one of my favorite movies is so stupid. It's The French Kiss with Meg Ryan.
I love that movie.
Oh my god, I love you so much right now. And like her counterpart in that, his name is Luc
Yeah.
Teston.
Yes. Oh my God. I haven't thought about that movie in forever.
I love
It's
that movie
such
so
a
much.
gem.
Do you want to come over and just watch it one night?
Yes.
And we'll
I
order
like French
pizza?
movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like French
I
movies?
do. I love French movies.
Dude,
My favorite.
I am getting to know new
No,
things.
my favorite French movie.
What is your favorite
It's
French
called
movie?
Les Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's very good.
Dude, how the fuck did you come up with that?
Well, you just put the word "le" in something, and it immediately becomes French.
Vader is very,
Les Star Wars.
Very upset.
Vader is very skilled at turning American words into French, like
That's right.
like garbage.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Garbage with a French
dude,
accent.
I want JT to make a French poster for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Les
There
Raiders.
it does.
This is one of those times I'm not going to forgive you for a while. I got so built up, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is a new thing I have in common with Vader."
Oh
I
man.
got the Ethel mug
No, French-
because you have the Lucy.
Because French
glass.
movies suck.
Dude,
It's terrible.
what the hell?
Les
Dude.
Raiders.
Please give us the synopsis for.
I'm not going to recover from this for a while. I'm not going to financially recover for this
sorry.
for the rest of my life.
Again, I apologize to our listeners because
No
we are
absinthe
off
for
the
him.
rails.
We're like really.
Tequila and absinthe, they're just off the
Oh,
menu for
can you
him.
mix them?
The professional.
Will that
Yes.
make you horny and trip balls at the same time? What?
Yes.
Jude, the professional.
Okay.
Synopsis, please.
Gary Oldman is hanging on by the hairs of his perfect chinny chin chin when Natalie Portman's piece of shit father cuts his drugs in order to take a bigger payday. And it's the last fucking straw. Fuck.
Jude.
Oh God, I can't drink no more.
Tastes like bubblegum.
You need to start over.
Why does it taste like bubblegum?
Gary Oldman snaps and kills her whole family, including her 4-year-old brother. Matilda could give two shits about the brutal slaying of her dad, sister, and stepmother. But when she learns about her kid brother's death, she vows to get revenge on Gary Oldman and his dirty cop squad responsible. Fleeing to her neighbor Leon, who happens to be an assassin, she teaches him to read, and he teaches her the trade of cleaning. When Leon refuses to go after DEA agent Gary Oldman, Matilda devises a plan to take him out herself. Her plan goes immediately wrong, and she finds herself in the clutches of the cops who killed her family until Leon rescues her, which puts them both on the radar of the murdering cops. Discuss.
This movie is freaking flawless.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I was so nervous to rewatch it because I haven't watched it probably since the 90s. And I was like, I
Yeah.
don't think this
Well-
is going to hold up well. Because I remember like the sexual innuendo of a very young Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
But when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, this actually is so
So
responsible.
we just might as well address it right off the bat because
Yeah.
it's the biggest elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, so Natalie Portman is like what, 11,
She's
12?
12.
12 years old?
She was 12 when she filmed this, and also her character is 12.
And there's some scenes where she is doing some, I guess you could say, sexual things, and Leon is in the room, but it's done in such a way like Leon is obviously uncomfortable with the whole situation. He's going like, I'm not supposed to be here right now.
Yeah.
Like he does that, and then it's done tastefully because she's fully clothed. She's never in a point where like, oh man, that's way too much skin for a 12-year-old. Like it's never crossed that line, but it's like, it's done in a way that I feel like a young girl of that age who looks up to these idols like Madonna. She was mimicking Madonna,
Yeah.
and who else was it? Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
So like she's looking up to these feminine idols, and she wants to mimic them. So she does these little acts to try and get Leon to guess who she's pretending to be.
Yeah, they're playing a game of guess who. And
Yeah.
she dresses up and performs an act, and he's supposed to guess who.
Right. It's done in such a way that I'm like, it does ride the line, because as I was watching it, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be watching this freaking part. But
Yeah.
it's
done so accurately.
So I need to point out that there are actually two versions of this movie. There's like the American theatrical cut, and then there's like the regular cut that was like Luc Besson's like original cut. And in the original cut, there's a lot of scenes between Natalie Portman's character Matilda and Leon, and basically Natalie Portman is in love with Leon, and so like there are lots of scenes where she's trying to like kind of seduce him or like come onto him or express her love for him, and it's very awkward. Yeah, you know, because like we understand that like this is just a girl who's been starved for love her whole life, and the first one who kind of comes along and shows her any type of like, you know, responsibility or affection or something like that, you know, she mistakes that for romantic love.
Exactly.
And so like in the international version of this movie, all these scenes are in there, and it's very awkward. And so like when they cut the American theatrical version, they took all these things out and made it more of a straightforward action film.
Okay.
So there are two different versions of this movie. We watched the international version. Now, there's some things I need to tell you about this story, which might be a tad bit uncomfortable. And that is in the international version. So in the opening scene where we see just how badass of an assassin that Jean Reno's character Leon is, there's a character who's like a prostitute, and she's like this blonde chick who's there sleeping with like the mark.
They briefly show her in this version. Yes.
Yeah. So like she's briefly shown, and that actress is played by a former child actress from Europe. Her name is May Wen. It's kind of like Madonna. She's just known as like that one name, but she was a young actress in Europe. And when she was 11 years old, she met Luc Besson. And when she basically fell in love with Luc Besson at 11, and they started dating when she was 15.
According to the story.
Well, according to them. So
wait.
Luc Besson dated a 15-year-old?
Yes. So the actress who played the prostitute at the beginning of this movie, her name is May Wen, and she was a child actor in Europe. When she was 11 years old, she met Luc Besson.
Do you mean Jean Reno?
No, I mean Luc Besson, the guy who
director.
directed.
Oh, the director.
Movie. Yeah.
Okay.
So she met him when she was 11, fell in love with him. They started dating when she was 15 years old. They married when she was 16 and had a kid.
Okay.
Damn.
So this movie is semi-autobiographical in the sense of like the relationship between Leon and Matilda reflects the relationship that Luc Besson had with this actress May Wen, and she went on to play the Blue Diva in The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element?
Yeah, and so like she was 20 in The Fifth Element when she was playing that alien, and that's the movie where Luc Besson left her and their child to be with Mila Jovovich.
What? I thought Mila Jovovich was with P.W.S. Anderson.
P.W. Stanky? No.
Yeah, P.W. Stanky.
So that came after her relationship with Luc Besson, because Luc Besson's the one who basically put her in her first movie and made her an actress.
P.W. Stank Anderson.
It's just
because it stands for the S.
Just like 3 degrees of P.W.S. Anderson.
Yeah, but one of the things that makes this movie stand out is the relationship between Matilda and Jean Reno's character Leon. And the reason it rings so true is because Luc Besson was basically writing about his actual relationship with his wife at the time,
Soon to be wife.
soon to be wife. And Jean Reno, for his part, he was like very uncomfortable with a lot of this stuff, and so he made the specific decision to play Leon as like kind of slow, so that the audiences wouldn't look at him as like a predator. Like they'd see him as like he's a simple guy.
It does not come across as slow. It comes across as just knowing exactly who he is.
Protective. I got more of like because when I was watching
like
this,
a moral code.
Yeah, when I was watching this movie, I didn't get like a romantic relationship between. I mean, obviously Natalie Portman's character has this interest in him because she doesn't know what love is, and she's just pretending. Yeah. She's like, this is what I think love is. This is what love is in the movies and stuff like that. His character to return that love is, I see it more of as like a father figure, where he's like, I'm just here to protect you and to make sure that you're safe. Like
you have no one and I have no one.
Yeah. Like his kind of relationship with Matilda is more of like a father-daughter thing. Yeah. But he wanted to kind of like assuage the audience from thinking that like, like this is an inappropriate relationship by playing Leon as someone who is more innocent, more childlike. And so like it comes off as like Leon is kind of like just a grown child in a sense. And I think that's also another one of the reasons why Matilda kind of relates to him so much, is because he's on her level in certain ways. And in certain ways, she's like more adult than he is. But it's very interesting the way that they had to construct this movie in order to like kind of side skirt.
It rides that line.
Yeah, it really does.
Okay, so I want to talk about that dynamic. Okay. So I am the only person in the room who has been a 12-year-old girl.
Granted.
Great.
Do we need to fact check that?
I can't feel my teeth.
So from that perspective,
okay.
Upon rewatch, as a decidedly adult person, like the first time I saw this was in 1994 when it came out, maybe 95 when it was on like TV or something. And in my head, it was a lot more sexually oriented than upon rewatch. Okay. Like the night that we were watching this, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch this. Yeah. It's probably not going to hold up. There's so much sexual innuendo between like underage Natalie Portman and Jean Reno. And then upon rewatch, I was like, oh God, this is actually really accurate to like how this was written from a 12-year-old girl perspective, as far as like when you're a girl, you are a child who is treated like a child. And then suddenly it's almost overnight you are treated as though you are a sexual being. And that's way before you are an adult woman. You have to dress a certain way and not incur like the male gaze and not incur that kind of attention. And it just kind of happens overnight for a girl. And no one ever teaches you like the middle ground, the in-between of going from being a child to this sexual human. And this really captures it.
Yeah, and the character of Matilda is constantly trying to like sexualize herself in order to attract Jean Reno.
Yeah, because she's in that in between of she's a child. Yeah. But she's a preteen who has the hormones of a teenager, who is trying to experiment with what that means, and it's so well captured, and it's very respectful of this phase in a person's life, and how Jean Reno's character reacts to it is also very respectful. I thought.
And that scene where they're playing Guess Who, so like she comes out as Marilyn Monroe and she's like, "Happy birthday, Mr. President."
Yeah, I was like,
that was weird.
Well, what's funny is that like, so she didn't know who Marilyn Monroe was, right? Because she's so young, and she'd only seen like, we talked about Wayne's World in our last episode, so she'd only seen Mike Myers' rendition of Marilyn Monroe's "Happy Birthday, Mr. President," and so she was just mimicking Mike Myers in that moment because she had no idea who Marilyn Monroe was.
And I think it's pretty clear in the scene that Leon knows exactly who she's doing, but he doesn't want to like portray himself to be on board with this situation, so he just says, "I don't know."
Yeah, no, I don't believe that at all. Like, he's so insulated, like he doesn't know anything about modern pop culture. And the one scene that we see him actually go out and have a good time is he goes and he sees a Fred Astaire movie, and so like he's into like those older movies. We know that he can't read. We know that he can't write. And he English is his second language, and so like he just likes these like classic movies, and he doesn't know anything about modern society. But the other thing I want to talk about, so this was Natalie Portman's first movie, but the guy who steals this movie,
Gary Oldman.
Gary, oh,
Oldman.
thank you. I was going to talk about
Yeah.
Gary Oldman, dude.
He's so fucking bonkers.
He's a freaking schizo. He's like when he's taking his pills and he's like, oh,
He does
and
that
the
little
reaction
shoulder
to the
thing.
pills.
Yeah. Oh,
It
it's
just
so
makes
creepy.
you think, what are those?
Yeah. Is it is it a medication he has to take to stay on board with everything? Is it something?
Is it the thing that he has to take to keep him from turning into a werewolf?
Yeah.
Because like his reaction is so like, I'm about to turn into a
Yeah.
werewolf.
But just,
I'm not going to turn into a werewolf.
My theory has always been that it's some type of like super Adderall.
Okay.
That just gives him like the superior focus, because he's usually like hopped up like on some type of drugs most of the time.
Like DEA agents have access to
everything.
whatever.
Yeah. I wanted to mention, because we're talking about Gary Oldman. So the opening, not the opening, but the big thing that starts this movie off is the assassination of Natalie Portman's entire family.
Mm-hmm.
And in that scene, like the whole time I was watching this, I just kept thinking, I'm like, wow, that dad is a piece of shit.
Piece of
Yeah.
shit.
Like he's just sitting in his room, like cowered in a corner while his entire family gets assassinated. Like, okay, yes, there's little that you could do to stop that, but at least
You're
try.
listening to your family get murdered.
Yeah, like do literally anything to try and stop that from happening. Like that's all you got to. But he's just sitting
His
there.
wife's just having a bubble bath the whole time. He didn't even try.
Dude, it broke my heart when they killed the little kid.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
And
supposed
you
to.
saw that
Yeah.
coming too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, and to you guys know, I don't like kids in movies, right? Like I despise children in movies. The scene where Natalie Portman is walking up to the door, to Leon's door with the bag of groceries, and she's like
It's
Open the
so
door.
real.
Open the door.
trying to hold herself together so she doesn't give herself away. Like I was like, oh, that's why Natalie Portman is Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Like this being her first movie.
She's a good actress.
Holy crap.
That's why Thor picked her to be his love interest.
So in that scene where she's going up to Leon's door, so this being her first movie, she didn't quite know how to cry on cue quite yet, and so Luc Besson had someone spray mint oil in her eyes, and she was in
Jesus.
physical
Oh,
pain.
that's like my coffee this morning with Vader.
Yeah,
He kept
so,
crying.
so she was in physical pain that entire
is-
scene, and that helped her performance.
That's
damn it.
awful.
Can they do that to 11-year-old
No.
it was the 90s,
It was the
man.
90s,
Dude, you
man.
can't put mint oil in your eye. That'll burn your eyeball
That was
out.
the point. That was like that
And
made
her
her
like
cry.
standing there crying and going, please, was real. It
Yeah.
wasn't even in the script.
Okay, that changes things a little
Jesus.
bit because I thought she was just a damn good actor.
Now I'm
Well,
pissed
she
off.
is. She
now
is.
I'm mad at the movie makers. My God,
But-
that's just insane.
But getting back to Gary Oldman, so like in that scene where he like goes through like the beaded curtain and all that stuff, and he goes and he talks to the father, and he's like kind of talking about Beethoven and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they shot that scene something like 50 different times, and every single time Gary Oldman did something different. Like it was not scripted. He would just ad lib, and that was the whole thing about Beethoven was the one that they ended up going with. But basically, Luc Besson just told Gary Oldman like, do whatever the fuck you want.
As you should with Gary Oldman.
And,
Yeah.
and so like that first scene where Gary Oldman kind of like talks to the father about, like you've got until noon tomorrow to get us our stuff back. So in the movie, he goes up and he whispers in his ear and stuff like that. And then like he like walks away. And originally in the script, like it doesn't play out like that. But Gary Oldman did that to the actor, and the actor's reaction was genuinely freaked out. And so like when you see his face in that scene,
whoa.
that's his genuine reaction to Gary Oldman. And the most famous scene in this movie is when Gary Oldman screams "everyone" when
Yes.
after someone asks him like what do you mean everyone? And he did that as a way to try to kind of punk Luc Besson, like he wanted to make Luc Besson laugh. And so like he went up to the sound guy beforehand. He's like, man, take your headphones off because I'm going to scream something. And so like when they're shooting the scene and Gary Oldman turns around, he's like, everyone.
Yeah.
Immediately after that, everyone just busted out laughing. But Luc Besson thought that like it was such a badass moment that he put it in the fucking movie. And
It is a badass moment because the dude's like, he's on the edge. He's literally losing the battle. Leon's like taking out his entire force, and he's just real calmly,
bring me everyone.
bring me everyone. And the guy's like, the fuck do you mean? Oh, sorry.
I'm out.
You have a beer right next to you.
He's like, what do you mean everyone?
Oh, I
He
got
goes,
a mix.
Yep.
beer and what is it?
Absinthe?
Is it
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Jude derailed the conversation. Yeah, that scene was cool. I don't know what else to say about this movie, but it's just,
I feel like Gary Oldman should have won an Oscar for this movie.
it was
Great.
amazing. It was
Yeah,
so amazing.
Gary
His
Oldman
character
is
was creepy.
Are you aware that Gary Oldman plays a pivotal character in Harry Potter?
I was not.
Yeah, he plays a really big deal, and then he dies terribly.
Sirius Black.
I'm sorry.
I love you, Sirius.
The way you just said that was like, yeah, he plays like a really big deal. Okay.
I wasn't even trying.
He's in Le Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Le Harry Potter. The French version.
The French
Stop
version.
making things falsely French.
Can I just say, so like as a young kid in high school watching this movie, I was obsessed with this film. This was Luc Besson's first big American release. Previously, he had
You
done.
became obsessed with Luc Besson in general, didn't you?
Yeah. So,
as a result of this
so
movie?
like Luc Besson, he had made like these really kind of impactful French films like La Femme Nikita and stuff like that. And this movie was actually inspired by a character that Jean Reno played in La Femme Nikita called a cleaner. And so when he came and made this movie, this was kind of like his first big American release. And I was in high school. I was kind of like, gearing up to go to film school and stuff like that. And when I saw this movie, I was just so freaking blown away by the language of film that Luc Besson was able to put on the screen. Like the entire opening scene where he's taking out like all the bodyguards of like his mark. There's so much really interesting stuff there. Like for instance, when that screen comes down and he like shoots a bunch of people and the bullet holes go through it, and then like you see his eye go.
Yeah, that's super creepy.
Yeah, and then he like comes out of the darkness and puts a knife up against the guy's throat.
He's like a super villain. He just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And like Luc Besson, especially in the scene where like the family's about to be killed, where like there's just this very long, slow shot of all the different people, and you don't know they're cops at this point, but they just kind of come down this hallway and take their positions, and then they introduce Gary Oldman, and he like takes that pill and he kind of like does that weird cracking thing.
Wolf's out.
Yeah. And there's just so many parts to this movie that are just like so cinematically brilliant. And at the time, like American audiences hadn't seen stuff like this before. This was actually a very influential movie in the 90s in terms of like how they film action and how you intertwine kind of like high concept action with drama and stuff like that. And this movie it's one of my all-time favorites. Like it's a very well-made movie.
It's excellent. Speaking of like doing these cinematic things that just make you feel something in your stomach, at the end of this movie when Leon is exiting the area, he's got that with this huge epic battle that he had with the cops, which was a ton of fun to watch, and it was so intriguing, and I was like glued to the screen. He essentially escapes. He gets away, and he's going to go meet up with Natalie Portman's character, and he's walking down this hallway, and you can see the street, and it's like the light at the end of the tunnel, and the camera angle switches from third person to first person, and you see Gary Oldman's coming up behind him, and the camera just falls, and you get that like flash of light. Dude, freaking heartbreaking. Like I was watching that scene, I was like, oh my God, he just got like it just because it literally puts you in the perspective of the person who's so close to getting away.
The thing that elevates this movie from like a typical action or like assassin movie is like the hardcore emotion that you feel, because you spend the entire movie learning to love Leon and learning to love his relationship with Matilda and stuff like that. And so in the end, when it is a tragic ending, but at the same time, he kind of like fulfills the revenge fantasy of Matilda by killing the people who killed her family. It's satisfying, but it's also like very melancholy.
Oh, it's so tragic. Okay, so you get to the end and you're like, yeah, Leon got revenge for her family's death and stuff like that. But you know the true villain of this movie? Tony's a dick.
Tony's a dick. I want to talk about something before we get to Tony, though.
Okay.
So the other scene that was really heart-wrenching, but to a lesser degree of that one when Leon falls, is I
thought you were gonna cry. I was like, oh no.
No. I went into an absent hole for a second.
But you're still in his.
So Leon has said to Matilda, I'm not going to do this. It's not safe. It's dangerous. We need to let it go. We need to just like pull back, do our own thing, go somewhere else. And Meanwhile, he's been systematically taking people out, or at least that was his plan the whole time. And she doesn't find that out until she's in the clutches of Gary Oldman. And they're talking about like, oh shit, somebody came in and like took out some of our men.
Yeah.
He's been like taking people out at the bottom on his way up to Gary Oldman. And if she had done nothing, his plan probably would have succeeded.
Wow. I never thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But she was like, you said you weren't doing anything, so now I'm taking it on myself.
Yeah, she writes that letter to him.
And that scene where he rescues her and then like she hops into his arms and like her feet are like dangling and stuff like that.
It's so, oh God, it's so heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
And then Tony, go.
So, okay, so Tony's
He's
a
the
freaking...
fucking worst. I hate him.
Okay, explain who Tony is.
Okay, so Tony is basically... I got a drink because she said the F word.
I didn't know we were still doing that.
Why does it taste like bubblegum? So Tony is Leon's, basically his handler. And I'm assuming Leon came from France, came across the water, you know, and came to New York. Are they in New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he comes to New York as an immigrant. And this Tony character, who's like part of somehow related to the Italian mafia, takes him under his wing and utilizes him basically as a tool to...
Uses him.
And he's like, yeah, it's $5,000 a head for everybody that you kill. But he's like, but don't worry about it. I'll be your bank. I'll keep this all. It's all up here in Uncle Tony's head. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, he's obviously just freaking railroading this guy and cheating him out of his money throughout and you're watching this. And Leon's kind of ignorant of the whole thing because he's not used to the culture and he doesn't know what he's doing. But he's good at what he does. And he's just assuming that this guy has good intentions. That already was like, I was pissed off at Tony for that.
Yeah.
But then what was really just put the nail in the coffin is at the end of the movie, after Leon is gone, he's dead.
Gives her $100 fucking dollars.
Natalie, Leon has told him, hey, like, if there's anything that happens to me, I want all of my money that I've collected over the freaking years that I've been murdering people for you to go to this girl. And
he was 19 when he started.
Damn.
He's close to 50.
He's got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bounties in his bankroll.
All he buys is milk and plant food.
God damn it, dude. And
Oh, the
Tony's
plant. I love the plant. The plant's my
It's a
favorite character.
character.
Oh, Vader has entered the chat.
I love the plant. He makes the plant everywhere.
He just woke up, okay?
He was like an absent.
He was
coma.
very,
Hey man,
very
Cheers,
important
mate.
plant character. The
It's
plant
extremely
goes
important
everywhere.
plant. Hey, look, man, as somebody who grows plants in my backyard to try to like
Cheers.
stave off the desert, I can understand the love relationship you have with a
Did the
plant.
plant have a name?
Yeah.
know.
Well,
Was
Leon
it
Leon
Le Plant?
said Le Plant. Leon specifically said that the plant was him at a certain point because
Okay.
he just talked about how like the similarities between him and the plant.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, Matilda goes and plants the plant in the yard of the school that she's at. And in a way, like that's her connection to Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what even pissed me off more about Tony is he's the one who gave up the location of Leon so that the police could go and kill him.
I think
Oh, yeah. They
He
tortured him.
got Leon killed.
Yeah.
Tony's the smartest guy in the movie. We need to
Wait, explain that.
He's alive. He's got all the fucking money.
He's not the smartest. He's the best at surviving.
He's like, hey,
different.
hey, what you doing over there?
Uncle-
You get
Uncle
some
Tony's-
money. Uncle Tony got you covered. You need $100. come see Uncle
Nobody
Tony.
pulls
Okay.
over Uncle.
This
Uncle
No
is-
big deal.
This is the worst part for me.
What's up?
So Leon's dead. There's no one to take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "Can I just have a job?"
Oh,
So that-
she wants to be an assassin.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Also, she'd probably accept a job. And he says, okay, well, what can you do? And she goes, I can clean. And he goes, no, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
This is
Sorry,
the origin story of that terrible Netflix movie we watched last year.
Which one?
I don't know, one of those
Jolt or
chick assassin movies.
Well,
No.
funny enough, the sequel to this movie.
there's a sequel?
Well, no,
Oh.
there's not a sequel, but the planned sequel that Luc Besson had that he actually created ended up becoming Columbiana with the Zoe.
Love of Nikita.
Dude, I just watched that the other day.
Okay,
so that was originally supposed to be Matilda in that movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That'd
he
be cool.
tells her to basically piss off.
Mhm.
And he gives her $100.
Yeah.
That to a 12-year-old might seem like a lot of money.
Oh, it pissed me off.
However, he's basically just saying what the motel guy said, like, I don't agree with this, so you're on your own.
Yeah.
He's sending her out to do the only thing that a young woman can do is go sell herself on the street.
You think that's what to?
Yes, 100%. He
wow.
was like, go do whatever it is. You can figure out how to do. It's not my problem.
Whoa.
And he sends her away with $100 in her pocket, even though she has like what 20,000 in her pocket.
Easily, yeah, because she stole her dad's money
Yeah.
out of the floorboards.
Yeah.
At
So
one point.
she has more money than Tony does.
Yeah.
But Tony is supposed to take care of her, and he doesn't. He sends her out to the streets, literally.
Yeah, Tony is the true villain of the movie.
Yeah,
like
he's the
Gary
worst.
Oldman is the one who's like pushing the narrative.
Gary Oldman is the antagonist.
Yes.
Tony is the villain.
He's the villain. He's a piece of shit. At the end of this movie, I hated Tony.
Piece of
Cheers.
shit.
Cheers to that.
Lemaired.
Lemaired. Cheers.
Yes, he is the piece of shit, Le Merde.
But anyway, Vader, you've been so quiet lately. Are you all right, buddy? I need to check on you.
The Le Plant.
Do we need to check on your pulse? You're good?
I can't feel my gums.
You're not having a stroke.
Do you want
You're
to do
just
final
having an
thoughts
absinthe.
on Leon the Professional? What do you got for
It
us?
was
Did you
okay.
enjoy?
Yeah,
It was
give us
just
a
okay.
rating.
It was all right.
Give us a rating, bud.
3.
Okay. Oh, that was a half sip because I half said. Jude. Sorry. Sorry.
I don't
Finish your drink. Final thoughts. Give it a rating.
So I always put these movies in the genre or the realm
Right.
that they're
Yeah.
in.
You have a weird
So,
rating system.
Goofy.
It
Goofy
is-
ass rating system.
It is my Leon.
It's my rating system.
You guys are all trying to steal my shit, and you're doing it terribly.
I'm not doing it terribly. It's Le Plant.
Le Plant.
I'm going to
Le
fucking
Bebec.
stab you.
They put mayonnaise on their shit and everything, man. It's disgusting.
I love mayonnaise. Dude, mayonnaise rules.
I didn't go into Burger King.
Royal cheese.
Royale with
So
cheese.
not that Miracle Whip shit. Fucking mayonnaise.
Look at Gary Oldman in this scene, dude.
Oh, he's a psycho. in this
fucking
movie.
psycho. Oh, I
Gary-
said it again.
What is that Hawaiian punch?
I don't know. It tastes like bubblegum.
Oh my god.
All right.
It's a regular ass drink.
Okay, cool.
Settle down.
Jude, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
Okay, so as far as it like being in the realm of Assassin's movie, this is a 5-star movie.
Wow. Okay.
As far as it being in the realm of a 1994, 5, whatever, whenever it came out, I forget, 94, 95. I have it right in front of me. I should just look. 94. 4-star movie
Okay.
for things that also came out in 94. Like, this is a great movie. And I haven't seen it since it probably first came out. And I was nervous to watch it, but it holds up so good. And like, as barely an adult, probably not even an adult movie person watching when I saw this movie, compared to now, like it holds like some kind of emotional connection to it that I didn't have when I originally watched it. And I think that this is a really great representation of what it is to be a young woman figuring out what it means to become a young woman, in addition to having a bunch of shit going on in your world and having to juggle all of that stuff. It transitions all of this stuff. And I know that's not what this movie is about, but it transitions all of that
That's what it's about for you.
really beautifully and really realistically and respectfully. And I just think that this is a really good movie. And unexpectedly, I enjoyed this way more than I thought I would this week. So I'm going to give it 4.5 plants out of 5.
Les Plants.
Le Place.
Le plants.
Nice. Kadish, is this a 5-star movie for you?
For me, yes.
All right.
Basically, the performances in this movie are top notch. Natalie Portman, Gary Oldman fucking steals the show. This is Luc Besson's best film. Everything about this movie is masterful. Like I love it. To me, on every level, it's a 5-star movie.
Well, that was very concise. Yeah, I have to agree. I think this is a 5-star movie for me. I watched it 3 times this week. 3 freaking times. And each time, every note hit for me. And I know, like we talked about early on, how like kind of could have gone real south real quick with Natalie Portman and Leon like doing their thing. But I think it rode it perfectly to where you were talking about how what it feels like to be a young girl versus, the father figure and stuff like that. The action, as far as like just like the dude part of it, is like freaking awesome. All the shootouts are great. All the assassinations are freaking dope. It's very like just on point. There's no flashy stuff about it. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. Boom, you're dead. Like it's got that like element to it where it's got a realism and a fun, cool action movie aspect, but it also hits every emotional note that it tries to hit perfectly. I love this movie. It's amazing. Natalie Portman's incredible. All the cast is incredible. Everybody works. Everything's great about it. I have no salt to give about this movie.
No salt for the margarita, but
No salt on the margarita. It's just a damn good movie, and I had a blast watching it all 3 times this week, and I highly recommend it. You're freaking high, dude. Get out of here.
3 times.
Okay, so we talk a lot about like lazy writing for characters, and that
Right.
happens a lot with female characters, especially when they're being written in like an action movie genre.
Yeah.
And I just want to give additional credit because her character could have really been glazed over to make it easy.
She's the main character.
And there was a lot given to her character that was just in addition to anything that could have been done, which is a lot of the characters that we see today that are being made.
Oh, we'll talk about it in Hitman.
Yeah.
Like,
well, Luc Besson's really good at writing female characters,
Yeah.
and a lot of his movies are kind of based around like these. I wouldn't call them like strong in the sense that you know they can kick butt, even though like they do, but like just these multi-layered female characters that are believable. You know, like he's really good at that.
yeah, I totally agree.
It was amazing. It was just
Shut up, dude. Shut up.
amazingly acted. Everybody was just on point. They read their lines really well. You know,
Come on, bro. You're not going to give Gary Oldman a half a star.
It was
Give
just,
all right.
it was
Look,
just a fucking the best movie ever made in this genre of movies. It was incredible.
You mean le genre?
Le genre.
Le genre.
You know, it was Gary Oldman just peak Oldman, man. It was amazing.
I love how
I
you just
don't know how he could ever top this performance because you know it was just like God came down from heaven and inserted himself
You mean Le God?
into Gary Oldman's body and acted
Created Sirius Black.
this role. You know, it was just the best French fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, it was really good.
I love that you take the piss out of everything that we say.
It was
I love it.
amazing.
If you're going to
great.
say the code word of the day, you better crack open that beer.
Hold on.
Don't steal my bubble.
You don't
not
even like your
yours.
bubble gum. Yeah, this was God's gift to moviedom. It was amazing. It was just
Is it a 5-star movie?
no, fuck no. It's 3 fucking stars. And yeah, you guys are all you're high. Okay, it's not even a fucking nerd movie. I don't even know we watched it.
Oh, dude. Okay, yeah. We will make some course corrections going forward. We need to get back to
You
some
want me to hit
sci-fi.
him in the temple with my gun?
Yes.
This award-winning bullshit movies. I mean, come on. It's like, ooh. It's like, Luke, fucking whatever, Jude, smack me. I don't care. I might like it. But it's whatever.
Okay.
You fucking.
All right, that's it for Leon the Professional. Who do you agree with? We are not worthy. Do you agree with Vader? Comment below. Let us know if we're just freaking on some kind of crazy high horse, or you agree with us. Is it a 5-star movie? Because it's damn good. Or 4.5? It's damn good.
It's the absinthe.
It might be. I love it though
He's
because
like, I want to fight someone.
oh, absinthe makes him fight. I got it. Cool. All right, guys. The next movie on our list is Hitman. But before we get into it, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, before we talk about Hitman, I'd like to remind you that you can join the club, saltynerdclub.com. Go over there and join up. It's only $5 a month. You get access to a ton of content. Also, if you want to buy some merch, head over to saltynerdstore.com. And last but not least, guys, we're almost to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you are listening to this on Spotify or iTunes or something like that, don't forget, we have a full video produced podcast on YouTube. Head over there, hit the subscribe button, and help us get to that 5K mile marker. It's a big deal for us. I know we're a small channel, but for us, 5K is a huge mile marker, and we would love to hit it. So with your help, head over there, saltynerdvideo.com, sign up for the or subscribe to the YouTube channel and get access to all of our videos where we do short clips. We do all kinds of really cool stuff. Plus, we have live shows every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday nights, I believe. So join this. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get that mile marker of 5,000 subscribers. And yeah, that'd be great.
You're doing so
We'd really appreciate that. I'm so drunk right now. I'm so sorry.
Head over to the
That's the thing for the thumbs.
over to
As
start,
Like as I'm saying it, like literally my mouth is turning into cotton as I'm going. Jude,
You're doing great.
What are we doing
Doing
now?
great.
Hitman.
Hitman.
Timothy Olyphant.
Finally a good movie today. Okay, good.
Why? Because it has boobs.
Well, yeah. And he's got cool tattoos on the back of his head
It's
and
a
shit.
stupid
That is
tattoo.
the worst.
It's like, how can I hide my identity?
Oh, I
I
got
have a giant
one.
barcode on the
Seriously.
back of my
What
skull.
was the tattoo thing that you said you wanted to do? 10,000?
10,000 by July 4th.
Oh, thank
Okay, if we only get to 8,000, I want you to get that code on your ass instead.
No, not going to work.
God. Jude,
That's
tell
not
me,
the deal.
what is Hitman all about? Hitman.
Your fucking voice.
Timothy Olyphant. Coming this summer to theaters. Hitman, starring Timothy Olyphant.
I would never
a
lower
cool-ass
my
name.
voice.
I would never lower my voice to match yours. That's ridiculous.
That's a really
Puss in Boots.
Puss
Puss in
in
Boots.
Boots.
for Timothy Olyphant.
Remember, imagine that's like, coming this summer, Puss and Boots.
I'm changing my name.
Rated R.
I'm changing my name. Matthew Olyphant.
Matthew Olyphant.
That's
like it.
that's badass.
What about Odenkirk?
How about Vader Oliphant?
No, that's
That's actually,
You don't want your work friends to make fun of you?
no.
he doesn't want his wife to make fun of him.
Olyphant.
That's the fact.
Accurate.
Aren't Olyphants what they ride around in Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Olyphants.
Oh, can we Photoshop a bunch of heads of Timothy Olyphant in that scene?
100%.
Fucking Legolas like sliding down Oliphant's fucking nose and shit. Whop! That'd be awesome. Killing orcs and stuff. Yeah.
That'd be incredible. Jude, Hitman, tell me what it's about.
2007 Hitman, rated R, with a runtime of 1 hour, 40 minutes. This had a budget of $24 million.
Oh, that's cheap. Good for it. I'm going to say it made 32.
B. Remember, this spawned several sequels.
Yeah.
One sequel.
74.
$101 million.
Damn.
It's a good little movie.
Dude, remember, I just want to preface this whole conversation we're having. This is a video game movie. Katie's just going to rip it apart. I know that going in.
He'll
But
probably give it. You know,
Oh
whatever.
my God, he was so upset through the watching of this.
Why?
Let me tell you what it's about.
yeah, please do.
Timothy Olyphant is the best hitman the organization has ever trained. But that won't stop them from taking a hit out on their own for random reasons that create opportunities to see Raylan Givens murder the fuck out of people.
Oh, she said it. Sorry.
He's been targeted by all his bald work brothers as the one loose end in a scheme to replace the Russian leader, Mikhail Belikov. When Agent 47 learns he's been double-crossed by Belikov, the man who hired him to kill him, he steals Belikov's girlfriend and tracks down everyone working with him, systematically taking them out and taking the lovely Nika out on the town. She's determined to get that dick, but Agent 47 only gets hard for murder.
It's true. It's very true. God, she's beautiful.
Thank you. He parts ways with her, distracting her by gifting her a vineyard, which sends mixed sugar daddy messages, but whatever, and then holds Prince Henry, the Prince of France, hostage for a late night deal or no deal chat about whether or not he's a good man.
In a world this summer, you get hard for murder.
I would watch that.
I had so much fun with this stupid ass
I
movie.
love this movie.
She's like, hey, give me the dick. And
Yeah,
he's like,
listen,
I'm
okay.
going to roofie you through a syringe in the
Wait,
neck.
it's like
which
a-
is the
it's
most
like-
aggressive roofie.
No. It's a reverse roofie. Because like she's trying to bang him, and he's like, "Nope, bitch," and he bounces and
We're
goes.
just going straight to that.
I don't know what it's called, but I want some for my purse.
That's the end of the movie.
I know. I'm sorry. So this is a video game movie. So it's based on the Hitman video games, which I've never played. So
I never played them either.
I'm not going into this as a video game fan. So I feel like if there's somebody out there who is a huge Hitman video game fan who doesn't like this movie,
Well, fuck off.
God bless you.
it's like, okay, I guess.
I thought this movie was so fun.
I had a
me
blast
too.
with this movie.
It did not make sense.
No.
But you can't allow that to detract from the funness of the
It was
movie.
so much fun. Also, okay, so my only issue, I mean, it's a bit nonsense, but that's fine. My biggest
I don't wanna
issue,
hear it.
my biggest issue with this is that Agent 47 is like the epitome of a Gary Stu. The dude makes no mistakes. He doesn't even break a sweat.
He's
when
very well trained.
He's excessively well trained, and he never comes up to any kind of circumstance that challenges him.
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, he's basically Master Chief from Halo. So fuck it.
He's John Wick.
Yeah.
well, he's Agent 47.
Let it
Yeah.
go.
He's
Let it go.
I had no problem with this character at all.
Really?
None.
He literally had no
He's-
challenge. There was
he's-
no. It was
he's
boring.
taken as a child, it's raised in the
Right,
Jedi
yeah,
way.
He's
And,
got a
you know,
barcode. It's
got
fine.
a barcode. He's bald.
I get it.
He kills people. He's like the master.
That's
assassin.
totally fine. But when he goes up, like, if you look at John Wick, right? John Wick is a badass assassin who can kill literally anybody. But when he goes up against a bunch of people, he does get his ass kicked, but he prevails despite
Yeah.
the challenge.
Yeah,
This
but
guy,
John Wick didn't have guns in the ice machine.
that was the stupidest
very-
place
very
to hide a
smart. He's
fucking
very
gun
smart.
ever.
He's very
It's
smart.
just he came off a little bit bland for me because
Shut up, man. It's fun.
I guess I'm really looking forward to seeing how Kadish
Oh
breaks
my
down
God,
the
he's
story.
very
He's gonna
upset.
hate it.
Didn't you say you watched it with him and you were like,
I did.
he's
I
like
did.
rocking back and forth.
Okay, so Alex and I went somewhere yesterday. We were running an errand together that I needed to track for. And I was like, listen, I know we're not allowed to talk about this before we record, but Kadish fucking hated this movie. And the whole time he was like, but why? And I was like, stop it, let it go. And he was like, no, but why? And I was like, no, stop it, let it go. Just have fun. He was like, but I don't understand why.
It's okay.
Hit it.
I enjoyed this movie. Everybody else enjoyed this movie. What's the problem with this film?
This is Kadish the whole
Yeah.
time rocking back and
He's
forth.
been
Like,
waiting.
but why?
So go ahead, take it away, sir. The floor is yours.
Where to start with this movie? Oh my god.
The deep breath he takes. Take it away, sir.
Le Hitman.
So first of all, this was Timothy Olyphant's first like headliner of a movie, like his first leading man role, and he makes this movie.
Yes.
Without Timothy Olyphant, this movie would be just hot garbage. It is based on a video game. In the video game, basically, Hitman 47 is a clone, and all these assassins are clones, which is why they look pretty much identical. And like when one of them dies, they just replace him with another clone. They removed that aspect from this movie because this movie actually had a very kind of like tumultuous production where the director that they got for this film basically got fired during post-production, locked out of the editing room, and the studio came in, did all these reshoots and re-edited the movie. So there's that aspect of it. The guy who wrote this movie, Skip Woods, just to give you guys an idea. So he was the screenwriter for X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Oh God.
And A Good Day to Die Hard, which is Die Hard 5, which is arguably the worst Die Hard ever made.
Oh no.
I have a question. So this is based on a video game.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, Skip, if you will, he just went directly from the video game and he created the entire screenplay from nothing.
I don't know how he went about writing it, but,
Okay. But this is pretty much all his own.
I guess.
Okay.
So, like, there's a scene in this movie where after Agent 47 jumps out of his apartment in what is the worst booby trap ever invented because it could have killed him.
he was so
he
badass.
swings into this other apartment where these two kids are playing the Hitman video game.
That was so meta.
Yeah, I really hate it when that happens.
I really loved it.
That was great.
You like that?
I loved it.
It's so
Yeah.
stupid.
But so there were certain parts to this movie that just drove me up the wall bonkers. So first of all, the Nina character played by Olga Kurylenko, who was the Bond girl from Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Yeah. So she's got this dragon tattoo on her face, and Timothy Olyphant at a certain point in the movie asks her, "Why do you have a tattoo on your face?"
Oh my God, this sent him into a tizzy.
Well, her response was that's the only place that Belikov wouldn't hit. And so I'm like,
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, Kadish had to pause the movie to discuss it.
it doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't. I completely agree with him.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, it's fucking a nonsense thing.
I also
Let's
don't
watch
care.
The movie. And he was like, no, but like, why would
See,
she
like
say
I
that?
saw that. I thought like my
She was in an abusive relationship where she like let these dudes like beat on her.
and the
You're
only,
trying to approach it logically,
and the
Vader, which I
only
appreciate.
the only
but don't.
the only control she had over her life was the tattoo that she put on her cheek. Right? Is that what you got out of it? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what I got
That's
out
what
of it.
I got out of it. I don't know why it's so
Well,
complicated.
then why didn't she say that?
She kind of
She
did.
kind of did.
Because that's the only place he doesn't hit.
Yeah.
What she
I
said
can
was,
control
Which
my
they
face.
clearly
Because
show later.
I knew that's the only place he wouldn't hit. But I interpreted it as that's the only place he doesn't hit.
But if you can get a tattoo on another part of your body, what does it matter if it's hit? The tattoo's still there.
Yeah, but it can be damaged. It can be ruined. She's
She
probably got
was-
scars. She was
yeah.
whipped, like brutally whipped in one of the scenes in this
Maybe
movie.
he punches her in the pussy a lot. I don't know.
There we go.
Man.
What? Have
Ineligible for
you
monetization.
never been punched
Oh, she
in the
already-
pussy?
she-
I've never been punched in the pussy, Jude. I'm sorry.
Oh, baby.
Been kicked in the dick a couple times. But, you know.
That's something completely different.
That's totally different.
That's
And
a
it's
totally
way worse.
different place.
It's way goddamn worse, Jude. Trust us.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
No. Way worse.
Yeah, so like that thing I couldn't let go of. The other one
It's
was
a really weird thing to be upset about.
it was a weird line. So like then you have this booby trap that he puts on his front door to make sure like no one can break in, but it's an explosive that not only blows out the door in front of it, but the entire room. And so
Yeah.
like if he was asleep when someone tried to break in and set off that alarm, he'd be dead.
He doesn't ever sleep. He sleeps with one eye open, like a good assassin does. And he has the little marbly things
Gripping
outside,
his pillow tight.
and they alert him when they're going to open the door. So then when they open the door, he's already gone.
It's
And
a-
he's
it's a
on his-
video game
on his
movie.
zip line shit, and down he's hanging
Yeah.
out with the dudes playing the
so
video game.
what I'm saying
downstairs.
is like there could have been a better booby trap there.
Okay. All right.
Man,
Ugh,
you are
Kate is ruining this.
so freaking weird with your critiques.
Can you imagine watching movies with him?
What else? What else you got? What else?
So one of the big scenes in this movie is in the train station where he fights like 3 other assassins at the same time. And so like I'm sitting here watching this, and you've got this was one of the studio reshoots. So you got these 3 other assassins who come in, and you assume that they're all working for the same organization because they all got the barcode and the bald
Right.
head and stuff like that. And you would think that like their target is Agent 47. But the 2 other assassins come in and they're pointing a gun at the other assassin who's trying to kill Agent 47. So you got 3 guys who are sent there to kill Agent 47, but they're all also
They
trying to kill each
Literally
other.
do the meme from The Office
Yeah.
when Michael Scott and everybody is holding guns at each other.
It's a Mexican standoff, basically.
Yeah.
So like
Looked cool to me.
So like, I mean, it looked cool, but the question is like, why are
Why?
these 3 assassins like against each other when they just be against Agent
So
47?
the
None of them matter.
only thing I can think of is if there's a contract on Agent 47 and they all want to get a payout for it, they would be fighting each other for the payout of killing Agent 47. They can't all 3 take
Fine.
the same contract. Only one of them can take the contract.
Yeah.
So they have to challenge each other, which
I'm on board.
causes a 3-way fight, which devolves into a
3-way?
3-way fight, which devolves into a 3 versus 1 fight with Agent
I think
47.
it was actually like a
What,
5-way.
what do they
but-
call those in WWE? It's a
Cage match?
Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble?
No,
Oh my god, you guys! I had a cage
it's
match one time. It was crazy.
How drunk are you right now
Yeah,
on a
she's,
scale from 1
she's
to 10?
pretty drunk.
Oh, it's a,
So-
it's a fatal 4-way.
Oh, fatal 4-way?
Triple-
That's literally what happened in this movie.
Yeah. So anyway, the biggest issue that I have with this movie is like the entire premise of the plot is flawed from the beginning. So the idea here is that you have this guy named Mikhail Belikov.
Yes,
And,
Belikov.
and he's basically in the running to become the next president of Russia. And the idea here is that Agent 47 is hired to kill him so that another guy who has undergone extreme plastic surgery to look like Belikov can replace him. And then once he's been replaced, the guy who replaced Belikov tries to kill off everyone who knew about the scheme, which includes the assassin.
Right.
And his girlfriend.
So it's a very public assassination where he gets shot in the head and, there's all these cameras around, there's all these people around who witnessed it.
That was really cool.
And so the idea here is that okay, if you're going to replace someone, why do it? Why publicly have them killed in front of all these people? Why not just kidnap him, have the guy step into his place, and then kill the guy somewhere private and hide and destroy the body, and then hire the hitman to kill all the people who know about the thing, and the hitman doesn't know anything, so he doesn't have to be killed.
Because that ruins the movie.
I think you asked too many questions about.
No, that's
Right?
legit. That's legit, though.
No, it is legit, but also stop.
Yeah, just really. It's like,
Well, I mean,
who cares?
like this is the plot that Skip Woods came up with.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, if you can't think of a plot that makes fucking sense, at least have the decency to steal from the video game.
They could have done that. What they did do a lot of nods to the video game, because I have played a little bit of Hitman to the point where I know you have to go in and you have to disguise yourself and you have to work your way into an area so that you can get access to the target, which they did a ton of in this movie. And also the physical appearance and the way he moves, it's all very video game accurate. So they did a lot of things to nod towards the video game. But yeah, the whole idea of I'm going to blow somebody's brains out and then fake the death so that we can replace him.
He was only mostly dead.
He was only mostly dead.
Like his
They
replacement
wanted to
doesn't even
be-
come out with any bandages.
Yeah, no
or anything.
scars or nothing. He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Yeah, they want it to be very public.
That I will agree with you, and you're completely legit and fair in criticizing that. It makes no sense
Yeah,
whatsoever.
and the whole thing about the organization wanting to kill one of their best assassins, you'd think they put the B team on this one if they knew that they were going to have to kill him later on. So it's just it's very weird.
Yeah, it's a very strange premise, but
strange premise.
the movie itself is a ton of fun.
Listen, man, this thing reignited my fetish for Russian prostitutes. Okay.
Jesus Christ, bro.
Reignited.
What do you mean?
You had a fetish before.
Was it dormant?
I'm sorry. Were you turned off by them at some point in time?
I don't know, man. It's just I see so many.
He was I had let it go, but
I see so many
thinking
whores
it would never happen.
in my
But
daily
now-
life at work. I see so many whores that you just get kind of tired of them.
Oh my God.
They're like little maggots and fleas running around. But there's something special about a good Russian prostitute. You know what I mean?
It was funny.
Especially one this beautiful and gorgeous.
Dude, she
It's just
spent. I kind of feel bad because I like this actress. She was in Quantum of Solace, which I actually do like that movie. I know a lot of people talk shit about it, but I enjoy that
and
movie.
the hot part is that it's a real accent. That just fucking makes me fucking.
What
rock
did you think
solid.
about Eastern Promise?
It's just like
He was just like this the
my
whole
God, like
time.
this.
It was a fucking forearm.
I wouldn't
The
have looked
whole
at this chick
time
up.
we talked about Viggo
She's just like-
Mortensen.
fucking. she's
Yeah,
like,
what did you think about Eastern
creep-
Promises?
What those fucking what's his face's dick flopping around? What do I want to see that stuff for? No, man, this
He
chick
was
is
into it.
She's like super hot. And she's got that accent, it's just very good Russian accent.
Yeah.
And it's just oh,
And
it's
and
just
there,
like
are
oh man.
there are parts in the unrated version of this movie
Yeah, I
where
watched
it's
the
just
unrated.
very blatant, okay, show your tits because
Let me see him.
tits.
Let me see
Dude,
him. Half star for boobs.
This chick
Yeah, it's like,
spends
oof.
more than half
She's
her
got
screen
that-
time nude.
Yeah.
Or almost nude.
Or almost
She-
nude.
she's got that sexy ass tattoo on her cheek.
It's a girl with a dragon
And
tattoo.
it's just like, oh man, she's just
Doesn't make any sense.
And it
It's
drives
just so good. It's
how,
so good.
how crazy did it drive you that 47 was just like, nah, I ain't into it.
The
he's just-
whole
he's just
movie,
doing his role.
Kadish was like, the tattoo on her cheek doesn't make any sense.
It ruined the whole thing for her.
Shh. Quiet.
I don't know, dude. Like,
Well, I actually liked the relationship between Agent 47 and Nika was kind of interesting because one of the big influences on the screenplay and the director of this movie was The Professional, and so they were kind of trying to model the relationship that Leon and Matilda had.
oh, that doesn't work with a Russian prostitute.
No.
No, it doesn't. But so there's a scene
Wait,
where basically Mika or Nika is basically trying to rape Agent 47.
oh yeah.
She takes off
He's
her
not
top.
having it.
She mounts him. They're on the bed, And, you know, she's just trying to take some type of power over him, and he never misses a beat. He takes out the syringe out of nowhere, jabs it in her neck, knocks her out.
That syringe literally killed the last guy. But on her, she's like, I have a really good tolerance. And he's like, sweet. And he just pumps her full of a syringe.
He reverse roofies her. Yeah.
Is she a prostitute, or is she just like that guy's girlfriend?
No, she's literally a sex slave. Remember, she said like he bought me for $300 American.
I missed that.
There were several lines that she had in this line where she just basically said she's a whore.
Yeah, no, she's a prostitute. No, I would go a step further. She's a sex slave.
No.
She has no agency whatsoever.
Honestly, it kind of means the same thing.
So,
okay,
if someone has bought you, you are addressed by any of those terms. But
okay, this is gonna get weird. But
oh my god, okay, we have to have a conversation about
prostitution. So a professional.
If you were an independent contractor as a sex worker, you work for yourself. But if somebody has bought you, you are a sex slave.
Yeah, that's two different things.
But it's not like she's getting money for what she's doing.
No,
like she's being kept.
Yeah. And she's being tortured too, which is a horrible scene.
And in most of those situations, you have to just like kind of like it's a prison sentence. You bide your time, and then when your time is up, then you earn your freedom, and you just have to survive.
Or you murder the person who owns you.
Yeah,
one of the two. That's probably option. I would go with option B.
Usually gets you murdered.
Yeah, that's fine. It's worth it. Anyway. That's a weird tangent for this movie.
I just know if I was single, I'd be calling up one of those freaking.
Okay, stop talking. You're gonna get yourself in trouble.
Yeah,
Stop.
Mail order bride.
1-800.
Oh my god.
So Vader's like, do you have any redheads?
Why is he in a Russian accent?
Hello, how you doing?
Oh man, I don't like. Okay, let's just be on the level. I had a lot of fun with this movie.
Too.
I had a ton of fun.
This is a great movie.
So it's fun. It's way better. Like as far as a video game movie goes, like my expectations were real low. This was like way better than most video game movies we see. Yeah. And I know like it's nonsense. The plot line is kind of bonkers, but the action was fun. The relationships were fun. Agent 47 was a Gary Stu, but I was kind of like, all right, I guess whatever. He's like the best of the best. Fine, let's go with it. The Russian chick was freaking hilarious. Like that scene where they're in the car together and he's like, she was all pissed off at him because she's been in it.
Are you even listening?
Yeah. She's like, I've been in the trunk for hours. What are you doing? He's like, I bought you breakfast, bitch.
Yeah.
I love that
She's
accent.
like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. And he's sitting there. He's like, I need to get some sleep, so you need to shut your trap. And she's like, fine, I'm going to eat my breakfast burrito by myself.
Man,
I thought you said he didn't sleep.
Well, he did. Remember that scene where he's like, I need to catch some
nap.
sleep. And he goes, low.
I wonder if I can get my wife to like talk like that.
Do it. I love the scene when they're in the car and she's like, oh, listen to about these penguins. And he's like, yeah, I could just I have these magazine subscriptions for the advertisements. She's like, oh, you like this luggage. Why do you like this luggage? And he's like, because I could just fit you inside this luggage. Would you like to try? Or he doesn't say it like that. And he's like, I could fit you inside this luggage. Would you like to try? There's like gags and stuff.
Yeah.
It comes with, I could put my silencer in there. I could fit you in there. Would you like to try? And she goes, I don't know. Do we have time for foreplay?
Yeah. And he's like,
he's like, oh, shit.
Oh,
God damn it.
She's hitting on me.
I don't know what to do with my dick right now. I'm driving.
Every time she hits on him in this movie, he freaks out.
So uncomfortable.
He has no idea what to do.
I
don't know what to do with this right now.
He's only ever kissed before.
And he never had sex with her.
Yeah. No, he never did.
Well, it's probably a part 2.
He bought her a vineyard.
Is she in the second one?
No, Olyphant.
He's not even in the second
Yeah, Olyphant never did the second one.
Is she in it? That's all I care
I
about.
have no idea.
The second one is super boring.
Is it not
It's
good?
a super boring movie.
No, that's no good.
I don't know, man. I don't know what else. I mean, it's bonkers. The fight scenes are fun and stupid, which is cool. Like that scene where he goes into the Belikov's brothers like hideout or whatever.
How old is
Oh
this
my
movie?
gosh, that's so fun.
It's a ton of fun. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
So
absurd.
Henry Ian Cusack from Lost plays the brother, and it's so funny because like he naturally has like kind of like a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
But he's trying to do a
He's doing
Russian
his
accent.
best.
I love it when
it's a
dudes do
Scottish
Russian
Russian accent.
It's
It's
like-
so bad.
Pass me the vodka.
It was a fun scene though, because they're like, this is what I don't know what weapons they were talking about, like completely safe. It's got no magazine in it. And I'm like, okay, bro, whatever.
And I think the most ridiculous part of this entire movie is the fact that
He never has sex with the Russian prostitute.
All right. The second most ridiculous part of this movie is the fact that, like, in the beginning, we see, like, so all of the movie is like a flashback of what has led up to
Oh,
the
yeah.
beginning scene.
Yeah.
However, once we get through the entire story of what has happened, you realize the beginning scene where he, like, kind of is holding the cop hostage and telling him, like, here's what has happened and here are your choices. Like, none of that shit needed to happen because he was already free.
Yeah.
He escaped custody. He was gone. No one knew where he was. He
Comes back to the cop's house.
Back to the cop's house. And it's just
I
like,
think-
hey, here's this body. Why don't you tell them that that's me?
Yeah.
And then don't pursue me.
Right.
And
So
it was
I
like-
think
the
what he
whole
was.
time I was like looking around like, am I crazy or does none of this need to have happened?
So what he was trying. I think what he was trying to do is he was trying to.
That's the thing that didn't make sense.
He was trying to send a clear message to the Interpol policeman. He's trying to send a clear message to him to say, like, stop tracking me down.
Guys,
Like,
nothing in this movie makes sense.
Stop it!
Nothing.
It all made
makes
sense.
I
It
want
makes
to be
complete
able to
sense.
talk
Dude.
about little things without you coming
the
in.
moment where he was like, "Oh, I've got this weird key to some like old church somewhere," and he realized it opens the door, and the dude's just sitting there waiting after everything's blown up.
Sure.
He's murdered the guy he was meant to murder, and he's like, "I've planned this out since the beginning." And then
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, that's fascinating." I was watching, and I'm like, "How?"
No, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man. I had a good time with this movie.
Yeah, I did too. I did.
I feel like-
I want to see John Wick and 47 hook up and kill people. That'd be fun.
Okay.
I could see him in the same world.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Absolutely. That'd be
Hitman
super
and John
fun.
Wick.
Okay,
Yeah.
I feel like if this had been a movie with like Antonio Banderas and Sylvester Stallone, the entire story would be
movie.
like, "Oh fuck you,"
Yeah.
the whole time. But because it's Timothy Olyphant, we're like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." That doesn't make sense at all, but whatever. And he just kind of sells it. His whole performance throughout the whole thing, you're just like giving a lot of whatevers throughout the movie so that you can enjoy it, and that's what the intention I think
I do
is.
love Timothy Olyphant. Like, you know, if he wasn't in this movie, there would be no redeeming quality to
What
it.
else has he been in?
100%.
Timothy Olyphant? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, give me some examples.
Justified.
Dude, I'm drinking absinthe today. I don't know where I'm at right now.
Mandalorian.
San Clarita Diet.
Book of
Who was
Boba-
he in Mandalorian?
He's the dude who steals
he
Boba
was
Fett's armor.
Cobb Vanth.
No, it's not Cobb Vanth. Is that his name?
Yeah.
He's the sheriff?
Yeah, he's the sheriff.
He's the marshal.
What?
Yeah, dude.
That doesn't look nothing like him.
Well, he's bald.
He's goofy.
And he's like 20 years younger at this
And,
point.
Oh,
and
man,
he has
I'm
20
like-
pounds of muscle on him.
I feel
Oh my
stupid
God,
as
he
hell in
looks amazing in this. There's one scene where he's just kind of sitting there with either with sleeveless shirts or with no shirt. I didn't get past the fucking shoulder, so I don't know. But I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was also the sheriff in Deadwood.
Mhm.
He was in
Really?
Once Upon a
That's it?
Time in Hollywood.
Yep.
He was in
Go.
Scream 2. Yeah, he was in Go. He was in The Girl Next Door. It's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's a very
I'm
famous
sorry.
guy.
I feel like I need some be on nerd probation right now because that's weird. But
Yeah, your card's getting
that doesn't look
revoked.
like the same dude to me.
Yeah,
at all.
that's the
At all.
sheriff. That's the sheriff from Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, now that I know. Okay, yeah, I was just.
I was excited for this movie because
Yeah.
of that.
I actually, yeah.
And
whatever.
just like I've seen a couple episodes of Justified. He's really good.
Oh, Justified is amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great
All I
show.
know is I think the tattoos are really cool. I want to get a tattoo
It's
on the back of my
like
neck.
the video game.
Those tattoos are the dumbest part of this movie.
The video game does a lot of fun things.
I mean, if you're
And-
walking through the train station, you see like 3 or 4 dudes, bald dudes with
Like-
with the
A barcode.
oh, you're
barcodes on the back of your
screwed.
head. Do you think there's something weird going on?
Nah, it's fine.
No, it's
Is it good?
fine.
Totally normal in Europe.
It's like
Oh yeah, where are we at? In,
Russia.
Savlakistan.
Savlakistan, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Shit, he was in Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah, he was.
Oh
in the
yes,
fourth
he
Die
was. He
Hard
was the
movie.
bad
He was
guy
the
in
bad
that
guy.
movie.
Is it
Yeah.
like Hans Gruber or some shit?
He was kind of the Hans Gruber of that movie. Yeah.
Did we talk about Deadwood?
I mentioned
She
it.
mentioned
Okay.
yeah, he, this guy over here. All right, well, let's do final thoughts on this movie because I mean it's completely bananas, and don't break down the plot because it doesn't make any sense. But
No, but
did
just
you
have fun with it.
did you have fun? What's your rating for this movie, Vader? And finish off your zombie duck hunt.
He's pulling a Jude.
Shout out to zombie beer, beer zombies.
Yeah.
Really cool little bar that I haven't been to yet, but my friends went to without me yesterday.
Oh my
Very
God.
nice. But
Sometimes we do things.
it's not cool.
What'd you think? What? Give it a rating.
3.5. My favorite movie of the week.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
no, it's
cool.
my favorite movie of the week. This is a nerd movie.
Yeah.
This is a video
Game movie. Yeah.
This is a movie that we should watch for the Salty Nerd podcast. Not some bullshit, we're making win awards and best movie ever fucking made shit, But yeah, this is I like this. This was good stuff. I have a good time.
Okay.
That's tattoos. It's hot, naked Russian prostitute chicks.
Right.
People killing.
Excessively naked.
Yeah. Oh God, she's hot.
Did you watch the uncut version?
I most certainly did
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You know why? Listen, here's the thing. When you're on Prime, Amazon Prime or anywhere else, and it's like $2.99 for the standard theatrical version, or it's $2.99 for the uncut version with all the naked, you always go with the uncut.
I don't even know why they bother
so
making
why
the
would you even
theatrical.
put the other one up there?
Yeah.
It's like you'd never do the other one.
It's the
Don't
superior
do it.
version.
If you do the other one, you're a weak bitch. Okay, it's just don't fucking do it. Don't
Deep
do it.
thoughts. With
Yeah.
Matt Vader.
So
How to order movies on Amazon Prime. You and that goddamn coaster.
know.
Here, have my fluffy coaster.
I don't want
Yeah.
your stupid
Look at this
Take
fluffy
his
coaster.
Take his fluffer.
fluffy.
Take his fluffer.
Take the fluffy
I
coaster.
don't want your stupid fluffy coaster.
Jude, final thoughts. Give it a rating.
I had a great time with this. I don't think that it's the best movie we've watched this week, but for me, it was the most fun.
Okay, that's fair.
So I will give it 3 4-way standoffs out of 5. And I had a good time with it. Timothy Olyphant is, if this had been anyone but him in this role, this would probably be a 1.5
Really?
star. Yeah.
He
but
brings that much to the
brings
table?
so much to it that he's just such a good actor. He looks amazing in it. And he can pull off that tattoo.
Who else could be the hitman?
Fucking Joe Rogan. I don't know. Anybody?
Oh,
know?
Rogan.
Fuck you right now, in your face.
Steve-O?
Steve-O. I don't know, dude. I didn't
Johnny
think
Knoxville?
Oliphant brought all that much to the table in this movie.
Don't you ever say Joe Rogan at me again.
Shout out Joe Rogan. I love that guy.
I love his bald head.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I had fun with this movie. Kadish, final thoughts. Give it a rating. I know you think this movie's ridiculous. Go ahead.
It's a garbage movie.
Terrible.
I mean, like,
Moving on.
Timothy Olyphant was good in it. I give it 2 reverse roofies out of 5.
Oh, that's all right.
I love how calm he comes out. He's like, this is a garbage movie.
This is a garbage
and
movie.
This is why.
You are all drunk and stupid.
I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. Yeah.
You're laughing the whole time.
Listen,
at us. I love it when he laughs at
I'm
us.
Jude, and I have the tolerance of Godzilla, and I could drive a car right now. Test me.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere.
The tolerance of Godzilla.
Up from the depths.
That is a fact.
30 stories high.
You think Godzilla can drink more than
Breeze fire.
me? Fuck you.
His head's in the sky.
Are we good? All right.
Godzilla.
So, I'm going to give this a solid, entertaining as hell 2.5, right down the middle out of 5. 2.5 Hitman. 2.5 bald-headed, tattooed Hitman.
Yeah.
I had so much stupid fun with this
It was
movie.
really fun.
It was stupidly fun. As far as a video game movie goes, like if you put it in the realm of video game movies, it's probably going to be up there.
Yeah.
Like video game movies are terrible. Like
Yeah.
just out the gate, if it's a game or if it's a video movie based off of a game, you're
A
like,
video movie based off a game?
I'm so drunk right now. It's ridiculous.
We need chips.
I had a lot of fun. It's a fun movie. I expected it to be terrible, and it wasn't as bad as I expected it. So I'm going to give it points for that. 2.5, right down the middle. Entertaining as hell. Good time. Had a fun. I'm done. All right, guys. That's it for the podcast today. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to comment below what your favorite assassin movie is. If it's one of the 3 that we talked about today. If not, let us know in the comment below, and maybe we'll watch it someday.
Yeah. Did we miss it?
Yeah.
How many assassin movies?
Assassin
movies are there?
in.
Assassin movies? There's tons of assassin movies.
But like rated R, not triple X.
Yeah, no PG.
What about that Ninja Assassins movie?
We already
Oh, we already
covered
did
it.
that
We
one.
did. I know. I'm saying that's
That
like
was dope.
That was a dope
badass
ass movie. Yeah. Vader, where can they find you on the socials and talk about assassin movies?
Assassin movies? Wow, you can. Zombie beer.
You are so proud of yourself.
You can find me on all the socials, mostly Twitter, at Matt Vader 74, and right here on this channel every Saturday morning, talking about really bad Star Trek TV on with that dude over there.
That's true.
And every morning, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. That's where you can find me.
All right, cool. Jude, where can they find you at?
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram and on TikTok.
Excellent. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. KadishBooks.com takes you to my Amazon page. And be sure to leave us a 5-star rating by going to saltynerd.com/rate. We're trying to get 200 of those suckers so we can be officially accredited as movie reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes.
Where we can give video game movies 5 stars. Head over to saltynerddiscord.com and jump into the chat room over there. We love hanging out with our Discord members. And as always, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the podcast. And stay salty, my friends.